The grand old flag, it's a high-flying flag. It's the emblem for me and for you. Good old Collingwood forever. They know how to play the game. Side by side, they stick together.
Holiday football around the country, the toss between Nathan Buckley and David Leach. It's a big crowd here at the MCG. A terrific atmosphere building up, and we're certainly looking forward to this game this afternoon. Joining us along with Peter Dacos this afternoon, he's had a big weekend, hasn't he, Dacos?
Oh.
Stephen Silvani. Bad luck about the Blues yesterday, Steve.
Yeah, it hasn't been a good week. Firstly, the Blues got done. The Italians were beaten in the World Cup. But today's Monday. It's the start of a new week, and the Collingwood are playing the D's today, so looking forward to this clash.
And where do you think it'll be won? What's the big question?
Well, I think Collingwood have got the forwards. They've got their tall forwards, and they need to get the ball in there quickly before the rain comes later on in the day. But certainly, for Melbourne are going to win this game, I think they've got to win it out of the midfield, and they've got to get first shoes from Jeff White.
Let's get down again to Christy Malthouse.
Thanks, Anthony. Well, winter is certainly here. It's freezing, the wind is picking up, and the rain is on its way. Now, you might notice as the players make their way to the bench that Collingwood coach Mick Malthouse is also sitting on the bench. He's chosen to sit there and watch his young players, see how they handle the pressure rather than sitting in the box.
Gee, that's interesting, isn't it, Steve?
It is, and I've just looked at the Collingwood forward line. They have gone with the tall forward line. They're playing 4 talls down there and 2 crumbing players.
Well, we expected Bruce to go to Buckley. There's Rocker and Nicholson, and it looks like Bruce will go to Buckley in the middle of the ground.
Paul Licuria has a job on Adam Uze.
Broadbridge has a job on Tarrant.
And that's an interesting one. Uze should really drag Licuria back. That's where an area that he can expose Paul Licuria. Has had an excellent year.
Have a listen to the crowd as we get underway here on Queen's birthday. Big crowd. McGough getting the Magpies forward. Fraser. Bizzle with the job on him. Tracking it as Walsh. Support from White. So often the link man. Early nerves. Walsh going back for Broadbridge. It's a big task for Broadbridge on Tarrant. He just missed his target slightly, but good backing up with Schwartz. Building into the hole at centre-half back.
Spends a lot of time up the ground, David Schwartz. Like to see him closer to goal.
Nathan Brown, one of the consistent players for the D's this year. Kicked it fairly short to a one-on-one. Freeborn, Lockyer, there was some doubt on him. Good steal. And the Demons able to force it forward through Uze, Johnson and Johnston. And the ball out of bounds.
Good contest in the end. Tarrant and Broadbridge. So a lot of feeling in this game. Just so important that both of these teams get a good start.
He'll have the pace to go with him, Dakes. Broadbridge, but will he have the strength of Tarrant?
Well, Tarrant's greatest key, Hutto, is that ability to get out in front. Woden across the body. Pressure at the moment, and seeing it over is Ward.
Prestigy Como has picked up David Meeks.
Another big job. Big jobs all over the ground. Ball comes in, McKee will wrestle. Ball comes in pretty light. Bruce by Woden, good last week. Taking it, Ward keeps it in, yes. Dribbles in closer to goal, that's good for the Demons. Neitz will see it over, Richardson there for the Pies. And we are 30 metres around from the Demon goal.
Did well there, Ward. Just played the percentages, got the ball going the Demons' way.
Schwartz will contest. May get a third man up, Demons. No, Schwartz down in front of Lee and Charlie. Has it now, hugging the boundary. Across the body, it'll bounce awkward. And a cross goal for a minor score. First score of the game, it's the Demons. Behind Lee and Charlie, all important. Needs to get a lot off the ball.
He was down last week, only to 7 possessions. Lockyer bring it in quickly. Pies able to release McGough, who spent a lot of last week on the bench. In fact, the whole first quarter. Still managed to win the Rising Star Award. Licuria. They break from centre-half forward, Rocker. Nicholson, he went through, no free kick them up, made to Fraser.
And this is the first problem for the Demons. Bizzle on Josh Fraser.
He's pumped it in long. Richardson pushing. He's taken Schwartz all the way to the goal square. It opened up for a moment, but in the end it's out of bounds.
That's what they need to do, the Pies. They need to get it in quickly. They've got the tall forwards.
A lot of space on that occasion.
Fraser and White. Good tackling from White. Davis is lurking. He's circling Leon Davis, trying to get on the end of it. He couldn't. Woden clearing kick. Good work from Liam Shelley. Travis Johnston. And again the ball over and out. So that's another matchup, Steve. Johnston on Johnston.
Yeah, two young players there, and certainly a good matchup for both sides.
What do you think about Mick Malthouse being down on the bench?
Very strange. First time I've ever seen it, to be honest, but obviously there's a reason why. Maybe he's had a few problems with the technology up in the box with the phones.
I'm interested to know what type of perspective you'd get of the game, especially with the ball on the other side of the ground. Ellis does beautifully. Demon just over the wing, chips it up. Out comes Luke. He's got it, has he? He has. So just outside 50 for the Demons. Ward running in. Ellis has come down from defence, off half back. So David Neitz may be able to just get there. It's just outside 50. Members side of the ground. 4 minutes into this game. Boy, they need this guy firing. Very quiet last week.
Tough kick from here, Dakes. That wind's pretty strong. He's virtually kicking straight into it.
So just over 4 minutes. Goal yet to be scored. David Neitz, the skipper. Be a wonderful start. It'll go long. It'll go to the left. And as you called it, Richardson underneath it. Try to slap it back. Danger. Off the ground and through Lacuria. Conceding nothing. The only possible option for the Pies. It's 2 points to the Demons. Collingwood get the score 4.5 minutes in.
Christie from ground level. I wonder what the wind's doing.
Yeah, it's starting to pick up. It's really quite strong. It's going across the ground at the moment, so it wouldn't be favouring either end just yet.
Burns breaking on the wing. Good build up here for the Pies, although Bizzle in best position to halt that. He wanted to move it quickly. White has already won a few possessions back in defensive 50. Now Broadbridge running off Tarrant, needs to get it first. And now he can go. That Liam Shelley demanding it on the wing. No, he didn't get it. Good at roll, Rocker. They've got to be quick getting it in now. I think they might be outnumbered here. Demons inside 50. Yeah, on the rebound. McGough wasn't a great option as it turned out. Brown looks like he has the job on Davis. And now he can streak away Woden. Kicking for Travis Johnson. Be very tough for him here. More Magpies than Demons. Richardson zoning off well. Using Johnson on the way out. Nothing really doing for him apart from that short one in. And here's McGough to get the Magpies going again. Has to chip up again, wrong option. Nathan Brown, one of the better Demons this season, just behind Uze. Took it and ran. Trying to draw players. Game pretty predictable at the moment. Players just keeping their same line, bombing along as Woden's just done. Looking for Neitz against two. Richardson will mark. On to Buckley. So the skipper just holds it up. Changes direction. Dangerous. It'll drift down. James McDonald hands off. Stevie Powell, 45 out to the right of the goals. So all the scoring by the Demons. 6 minutes in, they're three behinds. The Pies yet to score. And they worked it all right, took a chance. Stevie Powell just not able to capitalise.
They needed to work that because Collingwood certainly had numbers in their defence.
Jeff White has made a great start to this game. Gets it in there quickly. Johnston, can he cap it off? In fact, it's James McDonald with the shot, and they've missed another one. So that's 4 behinds to the Demons, and the Pies yet to get on the board.
I suppose the good sign is that Demons have been able to get it forward. Pretty tight game at the moment. 4 scoring shots, but they do need a goal. Lacuria from the Buckley kicking, goes back. Oh, danger again. Bruce does well over the top, open goal. Should have handballed to Liam Shelley. Will it bounce the right way? No. Ben Johnson back there for the Pies. So it's 5 points to the Demons. We are only 7 minutes into this first quarter. Great start from Melbourne. The Pies yet to score.
Cameron Bruce has picked up Nathan Buckley.
They've changed the structure already, Steve. Richardson off and Didak on, so they're going a bit smaller.
Well, windy conditions, get the smaller player back onto the ground.
And what an influence White's having. Slorts charging through. Delivery was very low. Gave Meeks the chances. His favourite spot on the ground. Can he run the arc? He doesn't. Went for the pass instead. Made it difficult for Ward. Didak just on the ground. James McDonald has been very consistent for them this year. Liam Shelley, a wobbly, scrappy kick. They need a mark. Uze Neitz!
This is what they need from David Neitz. Exactly that. Uze was a target. It's a free kick. It's a free kick. Very unlucky for the Demons. I'd love to see the replay on this one.
The free kick was from Uze.
Yeah.
There we see hands on the shoulder. Correct decision.
That's the way David Leach has to go about his football today, without a doubt.
Freeborn goes out to the wing. Finds McGough, who's been busy, but his disposals have let him down so far. That looks a little better off the boot. It was. Didak. So they've changed the matchup as well, Melbourne. Broadbridge now on Didak by the look of it.
Well, the Demons are pushing 2 extra players in defence, because for the Pies you have Shane Wakeland and Freeborn and James Clements. So 3 players sitting back behind Didak at the moment. So it means 3 Melbourne players are pushing back into defence in a support role.
Well, in fact, Powell's having to watch Tarrant because his opponent Broadbridge is on the mark. Didak pumps it in there long. Fraser looming in the square.
Well, terrific play by young Didak there. He really didn't have much on. He took the guy on the mark on, gave himself an extra 15, 20 metres of space, got the ball long into the square, and Fraser did the rest.
You made mention of this, Sauce, earlier. Just the height advantage of the Pies will possibly end up a key in this game.
Certainly, and this is the result they would have been hoping for.
5 scoring shots to 1, but Collingwood's won. It's an all-important opening goal. Josh Fraser kicks his 7th for the year. The Magpies 1 straight. The Demons 5 behind.
Very important to get the score on the board early in this game. It looks like the rain is coming dates, and Collingwood have just done that first goal of the game.
Well, just so important, if the rain does come, that you're able to put the dry ball on the scoreboard early in this game. And Didak, as you made mention, cribbed the extra 15 metres, bombed it long. Fraser finishes the rest. So Collingwood against the run of play at the moment. It has been all Melbourne. Lockyer out of the middle. Collingwood into attack again. Long it is. Tarrant will go from behind. Best of luck. Leon Davis. Look out, Demons. He gets his foot to it. Did beautifully. Into the pocket. Josh Fraser. The big man will control it. Bizzle right on his hammer. Could have been penalised in the end. Bizzle does well. Second bite. Alice, you are gone. Great pressure at the moment. Walsh out of defence. Chips up. And out of danger, Bruce will mark. Great pressure at the moment. Bruce bangs it in long. The ball comes to ground. Collingwood should run it away. Schwartz, Wakeland, toe poke, out of danger. McGoff's been busy over the top, running it now. Lacuria, Lockyer, Leon Charlie right on his hammer. They do beautifully to get it to Brodie Holland. Look forward. Leon Davis, Broadbridge does enough. No, Tarrant around the body. Tarrant around the body. It doesn't come better than this. That's their second. Well, Chris Tarrant, 4 late goals last week. Just to start, he needs to get 4 quarters in today, and what better way to start?
And super goal by Chris Tarrant, but it came from an error. Young Broadbridge really should have sport that ball over the line. He was 2 on 1 here, and we see him go for a mark. Needed to get it over the line. Chris Tarrant capitalises. Great goal.
Well, he's a Queen's birthday specialist, isn't he? Last year, 2 thrilling marks. And he started with a great goal today. And the Pies suddenly find themselves 7 points up. Interference, free kick to McKee.
Starting to win it out of the middle. All important in any game of football. Collingwood, certainly in the last couple of centre bounces, very good.
Wakeland getting it in deep. Tarrant looming again. Good effort from Alice back there. But Tarrant can kick his second here. Just guides it. Didn't really seem to kick through it. And behind the Magpies' first blemish of the day. 2-1-13. Plays 5 behinds. Opening quarter, Queen's birthday Monday. And the Collingwood box without Mick Malthouse today. He's down on the bench.
Just a match-up. Woden looks like he's picking up young McGough, and they've both had 6 possessions in this first quarter.
Matthew Whelan to bring it in, out of side. Needs a mark. Bruce does well and takes it. Good use of the body in the end. Paul Lacuria on the mark. To wing we go. Nicholson well down the ground, and that's what the Demons need. Hard-running defenders. Need many options. In long, Schwartz, use of the body, standing start, and no free. Melbourne fans not too happy. Clement onto Buckley. Missed his mark in the end. Cloak, Leon Charlie. Demons need to score just to settle things down. Collingwood very good last 4 minutes. Buckley will see it over the line. True wing it is, and we have a boundary throw in.
They've just found it difficult Melbourne here. We just see here, maybe unlucky to get a free kick there, David Schwartz, but they've just found it very difficult to get it inside their 50. Their forwards have failed to present, and they just need to get on their bike a bit and create that option.
So Uze, key player, we said that in pre-match. 2 handballs to this stage. Woden very busy with 6, the best Demon to this stage.
From the wing, Uze gets another touch, but again, Collingwood have seemed to have had numbers, loose numbers too, across half-back for most of the game. Clement was put under pressure, but Freeborn able to carry it away. Fraser the target, Alice soon to run into his back. Play on was the call. And it's the Demons half-back line that can sweep and try and clean up. Well, they made a mess of that. McGough, another possession racked up. Tarrant's got to beat about 4 Demons here. They all miss it. Bizzle, important sidestep. And he used the ball pretty well. Brown looked pretty casual, but he had teammates lining up across half-back. It's the next kick now that's been the problem for the Demons, the next main disposal. White, let's see if he can hit a target. Whelan's going to have a good opportunity. Did well, took them on. Bruce, looping back for Whelan. Tight circle, quick kick to the square. Johnson will let it go. He'll try. Travis needed to come up with something sensational then and couldn't. And now the Pies can take it away. This is Lockyer.
Well, there was your luck in football, not going the Demons' way. Tarkin Lockyer, again, an unlucky bounce for the D's. Burns goes in, wrapped up by 2 Demons. It's too high. Advantage play. Holland kicks towards Rockwell away from goal. Does well, the big man in control. Lost it in the end. Ward with his back to goal to White, who has been very good. Ward sharing it around now. Woden. Certainly on the stat sheet has been the best for the Demons, but White not far away. Cross goal danger. Well done. Clement has to pick it up, has plenty of time. 55 from goal. Drills it. Tarrant got it. Did beautifully. That ball was drilled head high. Perfect pass and 2 bites at it. Chris Tarrant controls it.
Great mark by Tarrant, but great play by James Clement there. He got himself into the marking contest. He fought the ball, brought it to ground, regained it, and put in a great pass to Chris Tarrant.
So Tarrant started with a beauty in this game. An absolute gem. They lead by 8 points. Tarrant has 1. Tarrant has 2. 2 goals to Chris Tarrant. So, after the Demons controlling this game in the first 6-7 minutes, it's been all Collingwood in the last 7 or 8, and they now push it out to a 14-point lead.
Well, you do need to get those kicks across goal spot on there. I think it was Woden who kicked the ball across and didn't hit its target, and it's ended up hurting the Demons on the scoreboard.
Beautiful finish in the end. That's what any jobs.
There's the blood rule with Paul Lucuria leaving the ground and Batheris coming on for the Pies.
Great finishing from Collingwood at the moment. Clearly the difference in this game.
We've seen a lot of turnovers, haven't we, from both sides, but 7-5 in terms of clanging mistakes made, but the ones that have been costly have been the Demons. So the Magpies have got it out of the middle 3 times, make it 4. Buckley hasn't had a big impact yet. Here's Tarrant again with a couple of goals. Didak around the corner. Walsh. Was that deliberate?
Yeah, it has to be.
It was.
Now, and there is no difference between handballing out of bounds or knocking it out of bounds. Sos, you're too happy with that?
I'm not too sure of that. I don't think
what was his intention here?
Well, he can spoil the ball.
Oh, well, he's knocked it straight over the line.
Well,
you can go forward.
He's allowed to spoil the ball.
I can understand why you're retired. You've been out of the game too long.
It does pose a very interesting question. If all he's saying he's doing is spoiling the ball.
Exactly.
No, but he wasn't. The ball was coming from one direction.
Anyway, let's watch Brody Holland's kick. Well, obviously, it shouldn't have been because it's a behind. Let's have another look at it. Was he spoiling the ball or hitting it straight out of bounds?
What was he interested in doing? If he was spoiling to go forward, it would have been with his right hand.
Well, they got a goal from him not spoiling the ball a couple of minutes ago, and this time he spoils the ball and it goes over the line.
That was a good theory, except it's a different bloke.
Oh, it was too, wasn't it? Same team.
So the Demons need to post a goal on the board. Only managed 5 behinds. Just under 18 minutes first quarter. They trail by 15 points. Nathan Brown has it for the Demons. Good sign for Collingwood being able to just hold Melbourne up and making them kick over the mark. At the moment, pretty predictable. Players are off screen for Collingwood in that corridor, so Collingwood, Melbourne have to keep their line. Pretty predictable football at the moment. Makes it easy to pick off. Bruce into attack, half court. Clement goes towards the boundary and was slightly forward. Yes, says the umpire.
Well, come on, Dates. His intention was for the boundary line.
And look, had he have been pinged for that, I would have possibly agreed with it. It was just slightly forward. Rocker. White does beautifully to thump it forward for the D's. Lockyer in the back. It is. Put himself over the ball. All-important front position. Tarkin Lockyer. And this is where they've been very good this season. Out of defence. Their use of the ball, excellent by foot. Just over wing cloak or mark. This player's running forward. Will go around. Too easy. Did it far too easy. Then steadies in. Tarrant got it. No. Dropped it enough by the Demons. In the end, Bizzle. Hands off. Chance for Melbourne now to run it out the other side. Uze with his first kick of the game. 2 bites. Slows up. Takes his time. And then drills Nicholson.
Nicholson with the mark across half-back. They're having to work really hard, aren't they, Steve, Melbourne, to get the ball into attack.
Spot on. This is where they've been breaking down. They just need to come towards the guy that's holding the ball, but yet the ball's been kicked 30, 40 metres and it isn't quite travelling to the designated target.
Tarkin Lockyer, another good player for Collingwood. 5 possessions.
Again, there was an element of danger in that.
Jeff White, and this is where White will lie. He does sit across half-back and they will use him, Demons.
A hesitant approach from the Demons at the moment going forward.
That's better.
Bruce, very wide with their kicking towards goal. Johnston, bit of a standoff with Lockyer. Great pressure. No question about that decision.
Pressure.
Well, just on that, Melbourne are 10th in the competition for long kicks. They will go short and will go wide.
So Tarkin Lockyer, there was some doubt about his fitness going into today.
Into the middle he could go. Anthony Rocker well down the ground.
Plenty of Demon numbers ahead, and that's why he went sideways.
Well, Nicholson's sitting back cross half-back, allowing Rocker just... Here he is.
Yeah, playing well off him. Again, just gave the opposition a bit of a chance, but Patheris was the one that took it. And now it opens up for Burns. We know he's a big kick. He's gone to the danger man. Tarrant again. One-handed, whatever you like. He can do it all, Chris Tarrant.
Well, his confidence is up, isn't it? He kicked an early goal from that boundary, and for any forward, let alone kicking a goal like that, just getting that early touch, getting a feel of the ball. He's kicked 2 goals, and
I'll ask that question again. Is he strong enough, Steve Broadbridge?
Well, the question is if he does kick this goal, I guess Melbourne are going to have to look towards David Neitz.
Tarrant for his 3rd goal, and a great start to this afternoon. He likes it. He's convinced the goal umpire for goal. Plenty to cheer about for the Pies at the moment. 4-2-26. Melbourne 5 behinds. But would Neitz be the man anyway to go into Tarrant?
Well, I mean, obviously the Demons wouldn't want him to go down to their back half. They really haven't got a potent forward line without David Neitz up there, but this is exactly the scenario that Collingwood would have been hoping for.
Well, why can't they play Neitz across half forward with Schwartz? So in the middle of the ground, it is all Collingwood at the moment. Ball's bounced, McKee slapped it down, Holland overran it, quick kick out by Woden. Not able to mark as Johnson for Collingwood. Lakeland does beautifully and goes out wide. And that's a strong mark out there for Clark. Over top Lucuria. He's a left footer, so he'll need to get back onto that left. He does. Dummies a handball, hands back to Clark. So they're conceding, trying to work the ball forward. They do now. McGough has been very good. Hands off, Clark's good. Good use of the ball. McKee missed his mark. Bruce missed it. Fraser with a chance. Collingwood another chance for a goal. And he misses. So 7 scoring shots to Collingwood. It's 4-3-27 is the breakup. The Demons are 5 points. We are 22.5 into the first quarter. Josh Fraser. For a big man, his mobility excellent. Anthony Rocker has been pretty quiet at the moment. Nicholson has the job there.
Well, Melbourne had the first 5 scoring shots of the day, and as you can see, all behinds, and since then, Collingwood have kicked 4 goals 3, and the hesitation he's showing with Travis Johnson here, still devoid of options. Had to take them on himself. He's going to have to be hurried with the kick. Oh, it's so haphazard at the moment, the Demons. Good spoil from Lockyer, and then they've got a throw in.
And that's been the difference. The pressure that the Pies are putting on the Demons is outstanding, and they're causing the turnovers. It's a great chase, really, from the full-back, Chris Tarrant. Fantastic effort.
One of his strengths, Chris Tarrant, is his running ability.
White, Lee and Shelley trying to get amongst it. Johnston had to go towards the boundary line.
One of the options for Melbourne, they're finding it very hard to get the ball over half forward. Consider pushing Neitz across half forward with David Schwartz, and then getting players. I suppose the other key to that is you allow a little bit of space in behind the players.
Good scrap for it on the wing. Oh, Robertson too high. Free kick, advantage paid. Holland to take that. Suddenly found himself in trouble. The umpire's going to bring it back. Magpie fans won't be happy because Fraser took the mark.
Jason Cloak has been excellent in the early part of this game. Very good.
Robertson just on the ground. It looked like he was really trying to have an impact, get himself involved straight away. Let's have a look at it. Oh,
Certain free kick.
Clement, he can wind up with it when he gets hold of it. Rocker! Behind.
They do look dangerous, the Pies. Their forwards just look as though they're going to take the marks, and the Demon defenders just look a little bit shaky.
So in that back pocket, Nathan Brown for the Demons. In short, Liam Challey has to run and draw. Will take a bounce. This is what the Demons need. Into half forward. Neat's well down the ground now. Sandwich between two. Cloak, good contest. Back onto it. The kid goes. Over the top, Lacuria. Too easy for the Pies up half back, and they will set up out of defence. Wakeland drills a pass. Holland onto Johnson now. Collingwood on the move. Through the middle, changing direction. Great kick. Davis a set. Chance at ground level. Second bite, normally good. Oh, chance now. Didak lines it up and drills it. He drills another for the Pies. It is all Collingwood, and I'm just looking for a smile from Mick Malthouse. 25 and a half minutes into this quarter, it is all Collingwood. They lead by 29. Collingwood are 34. The Demons are 5 points.
Two great pieces of play here. One was by McKee, the quick hands there that got it out to Didak. But before that was the effort of young Cloak to get back and support his fellow defenders and get a spoil on the ball.
Well, there's going to be a new trend in footy as we see David Neitz. He's gone missing. Coaches are going to go to the bench from now on. I tell you what, it's working wonders for the Pies. 5-4 Collingwood, 5 behind Melbourne. They need to get the ball forward quickly, but the problem for them when they do take it forward is Collingwood have got a loose man across half back. They haven't been able to get past here. Robertson trying hard. Schwartz, was that a high tackle? No, it wasn't. Play on. Travis Johnston, Melbourne need you. They need you to kick a goal. He's done it. Melbourne's first, Travis Johnson, ending the Collingwood run. 5-4-34 plays 1-5-11 at the MCG.
Well, this is one play they do need to get into the game. Well done by David Schwartz on trying to hold the ball inside the 50, but the Melbourne on-ballers have gone missing a little bit, and they need guys like Johnson and Powell to get involved in the game.
So good reward from Travis Johnson to the Demons to his teammates. Good pressure from the Demons across half forward. Ball's bounce. One more would be handy for Melbourne. Burns out of the middle. They've been excellent. Collingwood. Lockyer into attack Collingwood. Over the heads of players into half forward. Broadbridge at the feet of Bruce. Used his body and forgot about the ball. And we will end up 55 from Collingwood's goal with a ball up. Pretty good game, 27 and a half minutes first quarter.
Steve, are you happy with Melbourne playing a loose man in defence? I mean, Collingwood are as well, but they just seem to, when they try and take it forward, Collingwood take it back away.
I tend to agree. They're falling down across their half forward line, and they really do need to man up down there to give themselves every opportunity.
So Walsh will go and head towards that boundary and gets there, which is pretty good for the Demons. So they've pushed it wide into Collingwood's forward line. Boundary throwing 60 from the Collingwood goal. Nicholson will contest with Anthony Rocker. Jeff White will sit back off the pack of players, back inside 50 for Collingwood. Cameron Bruce will come off for a spray and wipe. Has been pretty busy.
He's done a good job on Buckley, though. Buckley really hasn't had too much influence on this game.
Change has been made there, Steve, with Ellis onto Tarrant.
I don't know if he has the speed or the smarts, Ellis, to stick with Chris Tarrant.
I think the Pies would be happy with that matchup because they'd be looking to try and get Ellis onto the last line of defence, and obviously Tarrant's major weapon is his speed.
As we made mention, Cameron Bruce has had 6 possessions to this stage of the game, and I'm just Nathan Buckley 4, so the Demon with the upper hand there, just under 29 minutes first quarter. Players wrestle. Nicholson was he held, allowed to go on. Over the ball, Licuria. Uze is there, and too high in the end to Licuria. So all important, head over the ball. Paul Licuria, fabulous player. Fine year last year. Always gets the big jobs. Will go in long, it'll drop short. Bizzle gets a hand to it. A-la goalkeeping. Johnson for the Demons. Nathan Brown into the middle we go. Schwartz well down the ground will mark.
Well, now he has the problem. He needs to hit men going forward. Ward's one of them providing. Tried to take on Lockie. He's going to get a free kick. He's a bit lucky.
That's fair enough.
And by now,
Tarrant looks like he's done a hamstring. Well, maybe not. Maybe just copped a knock to his leg.
had to go very short there. Ward, Liam Shelley.
Exactly where on the leg?
Brown. Here's the lead from Woden. Had to be perfect to pass. Johnson right there with him. And the Pie defence can team up. Rocker just bashing it out of defence. White trying to bully Josh Fraser there, and he's given away the free kick.
Well, good use of the body, Josh Fraser. He had the arms outstretched, so it just meant White to get his hands on the ball or knock it away from Josh Fraser. Had to really reach over his shoulders.
Here's a test for Chris Tarrant. How is he? Certainly hasn't pulled a hamstring.
No. But good effort, really. He was 2-on-1, got the ball over the boundary line, gives them another set chance to set up in their forward 50. What happened there, Dukes?
Oh, no, I thought you were handling the medical side of this game.
So only seconds remaining. Quarter time. It's been a frantic one. Melbourne kicked the first 5 behinds of the game. Mick Moldhouse, unusually coaching from the bench. And it's done the job. Collingwood leading 5-4 to 1-5.
And this is the man that set them up. Chris Tarrant, 3 goals in that first quarter, and he's causing the Demons all sorts of problems. But I really do believe it's been the younger brigade of the Pies. Guys like McGough, Tarrant, Cloak, Licuria have been outstanding, and certainly the Demons do need to regroup at this quarter-time huddle.
So quarter time at the MCG. Big crowd on this Queen's Birthday Monday. Stay with us. Going to be a terrific second quarter coming up shortly. Collingwood 5-4, Melbourne 1-5.
They showed spirit, but the Cats took the cream. This week, will home be where the heart is for the Blue Bloods? Or will the Eagles break their drought on the road to rock Wayne's World? Carlton clash with the West Coast Eagles, Saturday on Fox Footy Channel.
This is primarily a show for kids. I wish you were here. What about all the promises that you made? Just can't get you out of my head. Didn't want to leave you with my last confession. Yeah, I've been wrong. I've been down. Fast forward to you really me down. Goodness, Father, good soul. The magic
For the latest live music, hot off the satellite, turn on to the Late Shift.
Exclusive to the Comedy Channel. Australia's home of comedy.
That's Jay and Conan weeknights from 10.
It's lovely to be here with the 3 best scribes in the game.
It's the Monday Experts on the couch with Jared, Mike and Robert.
Reign of Carlton is over, is that right?
I don't think he's fit enough.
A show for the real footy fan.
We're building him up a bit here, Mike. I know you think that we're jumping the gun.
A ruckman's the most important player in a team.
With the hottest topics.
The MCC, I can assure you, have told me that Melbourne is expendable.
Join them on the couch, Monday at 8:30.
Lockyer. Lee and Charlie Rowe and his hammer. They do beautifully to get it to Brodie Holland. Look forward. Leon Davis. Broadbridge does enough. No. Tarrant around the body. Tarrant around the body. It doesn't come better than this. That's their second.
Yes, the first quarter belonged to Chris Tarrant. 5 possessions, 3 goals won. Zydak and Fraser and Johnston the only goal kicker for Melbourne. The Pies in front at quarter time, 5 goals 4 to 1 goal 5. Well, the Demons started pretty well, Steve, and they were getting a fair bit of the footy, but they were inaccurate in front of goal. Young McGough was pretty good early for Collingwood, wasn't he?
Yeah, certainly. He had 8 possessions for that particular quarter, 4 marks, but he's an in and under player, exactly what Collingwood needed to come through their ranks, and he set up a number of attacks for the Pies in that first quarter.
Well, he had plenty of help, didn't he? As Mick Malthouse, we see him on screen, unusual tactics for him being down on the bench. We'll check with Christie again on just the reasons for that. But Jeff White got a lot of his kicks in defence, didn't he, early on?
He did try and get back and help his defenders, and he had 7 possessions in that quarter, 4 marks, but really he's one of their link-up players. He needs to continue his form for the Demons to get back into this game.
And the Pies really do need to push. Any player playing deep in the Collingwood's forward line really does need to get back and make it a contest with White.
Well, how can they win the game, do you think, Melbourne?
Well, I guess the question mark at this particular quarter is that certainly I feel that Collingwood did have the scoring end, and obviously now it's changing, and the Demons are going to looks like they're going to have the scoring end.
Well, Chris Tarrant, number 1 on the rankings, not surprising. Josh Fraser and Steve McKee, so the big men of Collingwood having an impact so far today. Let's get back down to Christie.
Thanks, Anthony. Well, no real injury concerns. Just Cameron Bruce came off after a collision in a ruck contest. He got a cut just below his left eye. He's in the rooms getting stitches in that at the moment. And Mick Malthouse is still going to sit on the bench. He's just made his way there rather than sitting in the coach's box. He's doing it so that he can get a feel for the game from ground level.
Well, maybe he just wants to be closer to his daughter, who knows. 5-4 to 1-5. Out of the middle, Schwartz in front. Magpies in defence. There's McGough again, straight away, having a contribution. Buckley, Clement, O'Brien, who's been introduced. Buckley trying to get it again. Melbourne at least putting pressure on. Clement looking for the boundary. O'Brien, Brown in front.
Well done.
And the ball out of bounds.
Well, he got body behind the ball. It's interesting. Neitz is playing between centre-half forward, back off screen, between centre-half forward and full forward. Woden out of the goal square.
We just see Chris Tarrant on screen. Actually, Ellis is actually starting 5 metres in front of him because he realises that Tarrant is a very quick player and he needs that starting to get to that starting average to get to the contest.
Jason Cloke taking the mark. It looks like Melbourne have put someone on him with Williams playing across half forward.
Yep, and that's a good move because certainly Jason Cloke helped Collingwood set it up off half-back in that first quarter. He drives in long. Uzane Lacuria. Well done, O'Brien. Read it beautifully. Controlled it. Didak to Burn. Chance with Collingwood. He skips around wide. Then tackle. Good pressure. James McDonald from behind. Broadbridge to Bizzle. Through the traffic they come. Nathan Brown. A little bit of time. McDonald into half forward. Schwartz has got it. Has to move it quickly. Woden's on the move. Neat's back in the square. Neats will come out. Robertson with his back to the ball. And in the end, Neats well tackled. Great pressure. Clement will take it after knocking it away. Then outside 50 by hand. Johnson, does he keep it? He does it beautifully. Goes at goal. No one back there. And Lockyer underneath it, making sure it's rushed through for a minor score. So as the Demons started in that first quarter, they've started this second. It's a behind, 1-6-12. The Pies 5-4-34.
And we just see the start that Ellis has on Tarrant. 3 or 4 metres in front.
Buckley quickly. Lacuria. Suddenly the Pies are in attack. McGough ran for him. He goes longer than that. Fraser. It wasn't a great kick as it turns out. Hand pass run down, but that managed to keep it moving. Fraser trying to find some room for himself one-on-one. Ellis and Tarrant. Ellis in front. Tarrant giving away the free kick. Advantage taken by Leoncelli.
Well done, Ellis.
And he's got a man running for him on the wing of Schwartz. Going to be hard for him to get here. Freeborn and Wakeman will combine. Schwartz! He beat them all! Took them on, David Schwartz. Delivery all important. Not quite what he would have liked. Good body work. And the Pie defence from Prestigiacomo to Clove. Under pressure. Demons hitting back here at the MCG. They need a goal from the captain. The captain couldn't provide. Robertson did remarkably well to almost take it. Not quite. Buckley, the captain of the Magpies. And now Freeborn. Cool heads needed under pressure there. Prestigiacomo's got Wakeman and the Pies are away. They are away, out of danger for the moment. Johnson trying to run down Wakeman. Does well to evade, then hands off. Lockyer. Demons have certainly lifted. Tarrant. U-turn and moves into the pocket. Fraser's got it. So the Pies at the moment, it is a quick game of football. Melbourne at one stage into attack and then Collingwood able to rebound. So you have to take your opportunities. And just on Chris Tarrant, any forward, the early goals in the game of football are just so valuable.
Just with Nathan Buckley, Brucey's off the ground at the moment. He's already had 4 possessions in this second quarter.
And he has got most of those back in defence, so he's has played most of his football this season centre forward for Nathan Buckley. Has been able to become a goal scorer as well as Josh Fraser comes in. This will have to be a great kick. Cross goal she goes. And they just fingertip it over the line. So it's a boundary throw-in to the left of the goals that the Pies are going to in this quarter. Another scoring chance. The Collingwood medical staff working overtime.
And the range just begun.
Ball to come in. Rocker and White. This is where the Doomers have to get the third man up, push it back towards the boundary. It comes out into that corridor. Josh Fraser does well. He's had a good game in the back. No, it's going to Bizzle. No, it's going to Josh Fraser. So Josh Fraser has it, clearly in the back by Clint Bizzle. Put himself over the ball. Here we go. Oh, I don't know, side on. I don't think there was a lot in it. So Josh Fraser could possibly count himself pretty lucky with this one. Has won. Tarrant the leading scorer with 3. And normally a pretty good kick for a big man. There's a shot right over Josh Fraser's shoulder. Keep it low. He gets it into the air, and that's goal number 2. Bye-bye, Mr. Sheeran. Two goals to Josh Fraser, and he's finished off a lot of his good work in and around the forward line for the Pies. Tarrant 3, Fraser 2, Didak 1.
He was a little bit fortunate to get the free kick on that occasion. He is into his back, but certainly has a good start to this game, Josh Fraser. That was his 8th touch for the game and his 2nd goal.
So the Magpies begin the second quarter with a goal, and the margin out to 28. Dangerous time for Melbourne. White and McKee both almost approaching from the same direction. Uze. So far, Uze today, just the 5 possessions. Jeff White, again pushing back in defence to win his possessions. And it's pretty stagnant stuff for the Demons. They need to create the loose man. They're trying to here. Uze, under the pump a bit, had to deliver well to Nicholson, who's pushing forward well, gives them a chance. Schwartz leads out of the square. Goes into the pocket. Johnson playing as a forward, neats up the ground at centre half. Back to Johnston. Again, his skills really pushed to the limit there. Did it pretty well.
Yep.
Nicholson. Walsh can cover the lines. Spotted a man out in the pocket. And it's Shane Woden, who has had 8 possessions so far today.
He's been possibly clearly their best midfielder. Stevie Powell only 2 possessions. They need him to be in amongst it.
Well, this will be, you would think, at the limits of Shane Woden's kicking abilities.
Well, he'll have to get the ball into the air. He's having to try and cover the distance, and naturally the wind will take this.
Oh, takes it beautifully.
Oh, big kick.
Who said the limits? What a kick. No limits there for Shameway Woden. 2-6-18 Melbourne. Important answer. Collingwood 6-4-40. Spot on there, Hutto. It is an important answer to the Demons. That was their first goal of this quarter. There's no question that this is the scoring end that the Demons are kicking to. The Winnie's directly going straight down the ground, and he made that distance quite easily there, Dake, so certainly the scoring end in this game.
Beautiful kick from Shameway Woden. Melbourne's best along with Jeff White, and I think in general play they've certainly hit back the Demons, no problem with that.
That was Anthony Rocker, who's on the bench at the moment for Collingwood. That could be 50.
No. So Jeff White will take it. Demons ready to go into attack, and this is a part of the game that they've been able to wrestle back, certainly in this quarter. Centre bounces. Drops it into Uze. Danger. No, Lacuria just missing. Uze did well.
Laney Moon that.
Fine player out of Uze. Stephen Powell, that's one of the reasons he's had 2 possessions. He's off. One of the problems is that clearly beaten Walsh. Dummies and goes around McGough. Chips in. Johnson just over his head. Chris Giacomo comes through. Johnson back in. Good sign. Bizzle at his feet. Basketball stuff. Left footer. Wheeling. Back to the square. Cloaks there and he knocks it over the line. So we have a boundary throw in. Demon fans calling for a deliberate.
No difference. But I agree with the umpire.
Not as clear cut, I don't think. I think he shaded that pretty well. Uze did well to get himself behind again. So another scoring chance for the Demons. McKee, Bruce will jump. Robertson pushes it off the ground. Bizzle kicks a goal. So they've hit back in general play, Melbourne, and more importantly, put it on the scoreboard. It's back to 16 points. Clint Bizzle, his first goal.
He is an opportunist, Clint Bizzle, and certainly the second goal of this quarter for the Demons, and they're getting themselves back involved in this game, and this next clearance is very important for them.
So Clint Bizzle has pushed forward, and straight away that move has reaped some rewards for Neil Danaher. Melbourne 3-6-24. And they've kicked the last 2 goals, and they've got it moving again. Cloak versus Robertson on this occasion. Ward also involved.
Well done,
and now he's got the footy. Getting it in quickly. Johnson will start this contest behind. Couldn't get there. Wakeland.
He's off.
Pushing it wide. McGough. Well, he did well. Kept his footing. And now he can link up well with Lockyer, distributing it out wide. This is McKee, winding into the long left footer. Tarrant with his opponent, Ellis, in good position there, Craig Ellis. So things just looking up a little bit for Melbourne at the moment. The switch of play is on. There's loose men running on the outer side. Ward will be Whelan's target here. Buckley trying to track him. He can link up with Neitz over the top. The captain's got some space to work in here. His next option, perhaps Robertson, who leads for him at half forward. Nothing much doing, so he goes long. Schwartz looming under pressure. Wakeland shoveled him out of the road and then got himself into trouble. Demons trying to wrap it up. Williams, Schwartz, Burns. Good desperate stuff from both sides. And at the end of it, Lockyer and now O'Brien emerging with the footy for the Pies.
On that left foot to wing it goes. Demons will run back onto it. It's a free, and that was a saving grace for Collingwood. It's actually going to Melbourne. Should be going to Collingwood.
Yeah, it is going to Collingwood.
He was signalling the other way, so...
We just see Wakeland there in a bit of strife. Came from that marking contest with David Schwartz.
Shane Wakeland, the key to the Pies. We made mention of that. Lockyer at half forward, hands off. O'Brien started the game on the bench. On that left foot, Tarrant has got it. No, dropped it in the end. So the Demons have certainly tightened up in defence. Running into the knee, I think. Although, is it a leg problem or?
No, it looks like he got a he copped it to his head or neck.
So the ball comes in, front position wide. O'Brien very busy at the moment. Broadbridge there for the Pies. Well done. Cole did well across the body, and we end up on the full. Is it? No, boundary throw in again.
There's Brad Green, so you can see the free kick's 11-3. He's just on the ground, Dakes.
Well, I like him as an option, Sauce, because he does lead onto the ball.
And it's a good matchup, both very quick players, Clement and Green.
Demons doing well at the moment. It's back to 16 points. And in general play, they've been very good and are putting it on the board now. Fraser does well, sit wide under the ball. Loose ball will come down. The Curia couldn't wrap it up. And Ellis is there, and David Schwartz as well down the ground again. Uze also in the mix. 15 from goal. Collingwood with another bite at this. Pretty even in the kicks department. Broadbridge goes up. Woden out of danger towards the members. Scotty Burns, unlucky bounce. Oh, Schwartz went for the man and forgot about the ball. Wakeland, trouble for McKee. Big trouble. Wakeland does well to go in for the second bite. Hands off. Presagi Como, no room, does well. Demons have numbers. Nicholson over the line. And Lacuria there for the Pies. So Collingwood have held it in. 10 metres around, we have a boundary throw-in.
A couple of great efforts by Clint Bizzle there. One was a tackle. The second effort was to smother a ball, and really he's upped his tempo.
Oh, some great desperation on display at the moment from both teams. Fraser, White, opportunity for Tarrant, but he's beaten for it by Ellis, who's won the battle since quarter time. He's still involved, Ellis. The next option, all-important. Bruce, a little off balance. He recovered well, didn't he? Kicks to the space rather than to a player. Collingwood got a loose man back there again in Jason Cloak with the ball over the line.
Well, that was a good option, wasn't it, in the end? They've got it to within 55 a goal. Instead of trying to direct it short and putting your teammate under pressure, they've got it to within 55 a goal.
Jeff White coming off and Jolly coming on, so that's a big move for the game for Melbourne. Doesn't go off too often, Jeff White. Schwartz, Johnson, Burns, and the Pies again able to get some run off half-back or close. Didn't hit the handball as he would have liked, but a great supporting cast. Tarrant, Freeborn. Oh, gee, took the bounce in confined spaces, but it was okay. O'Brien.
I'll tell you who was good. The supplier then to O'Brien was Tarkin Lockyer. He has had a bit of the ball.
Going very wide. This is Richard Cole in his second game. Got high hopes for him. Very skillful player and very hard at it. O'Brien. And Melbourne have pushed all their numbers back. Only one player in Melbourne's half of the ground, and that's David Schwartz. He's all on his own in their 50. The ball at the other end of the ground, though, with McGough. It fell for them pretty well. Lacuria on his wrong side. Good tackling. Buckley went to ground, and he's going to be penalised.
Yeah, that's fair enough. He fell on top of the ball. Bruce did beautifully. There's no point complaining.
Well, he didn't have a lot of opportunity. That's 50 metres. Buckley giving the mouthful.
Well, there's no point arguing the point. The thing is, he was clearly over the ball. The decision was given. Let's play the game.
They've certainly upped their tempo, the Demons.
Be interesting to see how Mick Malthouse responds to that, whether he takes his captain off or not. Wheeling through the middle, going for Green, going to be tough here, 2 to beat. Brad Green, free kick. I think it's against Green for pushing. Nathan Brown was away and headed towards goal. But again, the loose man back there for Collingwood was important in that contest.
They do it well because the loose man doesn't lay off his fellow defenders. He gets across and actually helps his defender out.
So the ball is loose. Burns does well. The Lockyer on the McGough. A lot of the ball, 12 touches for the youngster. Josh Fraser does well to keep it in. Goes short, Tarrant. He gets it. He gets it, and it's over 15 metres. So 3 goals to Tarrant at the moment. And with this wind swirling, and
He's kicking straight into it, Dakes here.
not a bad kick. Not a bad kick. That is a beautiful kick. Goal number 4. What a kick. To Chris Tarrant, and he really is trying to outdo himself. That first goal in the first quarter was a doozy. This one just as good.
Well, he's got his second opponent in Ellis, and he's done the right thing. He's moving him around from side to side and coming up the ground, so he lost him on that occasion, and he's playing some smart football, Chris Tarrant.
Tarkin Lockyer, one of the Pies' best, 13 possessions, there you can see, along with McGough. 7-4 plays 3-6. Important answer that for Collingwood. Rockers in the ruck now. Buckley still being run with Bruce. Powell's been very quiet for Melbourne. Free kick advantage taken. Rocket took it. O'Brien getting close to being within range. Sets it up instead for Leon Davis. And listen to the Magpie fans. Whenever he goes near the footy, they love him.
Well, he's had a quiet afternoon to this stage, although he's one of these players that can turn it on in 10-15 minutes. He's only had the one possession, number 2 coming up. They're quite capable. Out of the middle again, Collingwood.
That was a goal from Tarrant.
What a luxury. A player that can kick right on 50 or just outside.
Well, this will really hurt Melbourne. They've kicked 2-1 to 2 straight in this quarter. And Leon Davis levels the score up for the quarter. So the margin is restored to quarter-time levels. 23 points the difference. 7-5, playing 3-6. It's a big crowd, 60,000 plus. Monday afternoon footy, Queen's birthday. Hope you're enjoying it around the country.
Uze is the free man in the Demons' back half, while Cloak is the free man in the Collingwood back half.
Woden to Nicholson. Woden continues to run. Runs out of room, does well. Jolly's got it. Look to give it off. Onto that right foot, decides to take on the responsibility. Schwartz into the middle. They've lost it. Buckley over the top, has an option, kicks to Lockyer. Probably Collingwood's best, goes in long. Josh Fraser, good kick. And in the end, good movement from the big fella, who's been pretty lively up there. Collingwood wrestling this game back. General play, they've got it again. Cole from behind, pushing. Should have been a free. Goes in, left foot, and misses. Did well. Could have been penalised in the end. And Uze comes up with it again. It's a 24-point lead to Collingwood.
Just feel that young Josh Fraser is causing David Meads a few problems at ground level. A little bit too agile at this stage.
7-6 to 3-6. Yeah, Fraser's game, been terrific.
Great chase.
Very bold. And he's been pinged out. It didn't look like he got the handball off, didn't it?
That's a little bit hard. So he should be having a go at the umpire, Adam Uze. Clearly got a hand to it.
Well, it was sort of a handball.
I think it was a handball.
Did he have prior opportunity, Dates?
He had 30 metres of opportunity.
Well, he only had half a second after he was grabbed.
Well, Chris Tarrant knows how to kick these goals.
Kicked them.
Not a problem in the world. That's 5 of the best. He's a goal machine at the moment for the Pies. Tarrant, 8-6-54 to Melbourne, 3-6-24. Let's have another look at this.
And I don't think there's any better reward when a guy does a hard contest or a hard effort like Chris Tarrant has done there, where he's chased the guy for 20 metres and then he actually follows it up with a great goal like that. Well done, Chris Tarrant.
Well, in the last quarter last week, 4 goals. 5 goals to 21 minutes into this game, second quarter. Tarrant the match winner at the moment. Still a long way to go. Demons are still putting themselves in.
And we just see that Tarrant has come up the ground. He's brought Ellis up the ground, so he is running him around.
Just to upset Melbourne fans further, the free kick count is 15-4 in favour of Collingwood.
And Tarrant should play that way. Move Ellis up and get him on the U-turn. I suppose running straight at the ball, Ellis will always give a contest. Buckley's wrapped up. Over the ball. Powell, they need him running with the ball. Burns, Collingwood into attack again. Long, Josh Fraser, Nicholson wrestling. Tarrant got it known. In the end, now it's a goal. Kicked out by Mercuria. And there's no pressure like scoreboard pressure. And they've kicked the last 3 goals. They've worked hard and they've been able to put it on the board. Paul Mercuria joins the party.
And really called by Chris Tarrant once again in that marking contest. He almost tastes the mark here, but young Lacuria at ground level, great left foot snap for goal.
Well, David Schwartz has not been able to have an impact.
I don't know in general play. David Schwartz possibly could push a little bit deeper, go body on body. The ball is swirling and making it hard for a lot of key forwards to actually take a mark.
Jolly's still in the ruck. Jeff White's at full forward. I wonder how long that will last. The Demons being outscored in the last 5 minutes. Collingwood really putting the pressure on. Jolly getting it in deep. Give Jeff White a chance. In the pack, created the contest. And the Magpies just sweeping up everything at the moment. Freeborn conceding the behind.
They've done well. They run as support, and I think that's an area of their game they've really improved this year. They're assisting each other very, very well, and they're doing it so well in this game.
Buckley going short. Prestigiacomo. Out wide for Richardson. Tough for him here. Good spoil from Ward. Help from Whelan. He needs some more help though. And he flicked it out the back. Batheris. Burns. Great running. Lockyer on the end of it. Tarkin Lockyer. Miss kick.
Well, just the positioning of Lockyer on that occasion. He certainly pushed well past the ball even before Collingwood looked like they were going to retain possession, and Lockyer will do that. He will create space and does get out on his own, so the Demons have to watch him.
He's had a big quarter too, Dakes. 8 possessions.
Well, he just keeps pushing into space, and he will run forward to the ball, Tarkin Lockyer. Johnson out of the back pocket. They need him finding the ball in the middle of the ground. Ellis will mark. They need to move it quickly, take some chances. Powell. So pretty wide at the moment. At least they retain possession. White, as Broadbridge has run into half forward, just outside 50 off screen. In the middle, Nicholson, no. White, short to Brown. Again having to go back over his mark. Chips up again. Stevie Powell. And if he goes long, big ask here, because Collingwood have numbers back. They should bring it to ground. Awfully hard to take a big mark. It'll go over the back, going through the traffic, off the ground, and that's what they were looking for.
Jolly.
And Jolly's kicked it. Well, it was always going to be hard for the Demons, and an unlikely type in their ruckman able to get it off the ground. Great improvisation. Jolly scores.
And they have moved Jolly up into the forward line. Meeksy's taken the ruck. They've had to take David Meeks away from their forward half and put him in defence, so they needed that extra tall up forward, and Jolly's done the job for them.
They had some unlikely goal kickers last week in their terrible game against Geelong. Jolly and Nicholson both kicked 2 each. Jolly's provided 1 so far today. White back in the middle. Buckley, Bruce has been right there with him all day and played that pretty well now. Free kick going to Melbourne, going to Johnston.
When White is actually in the ruck, I would nearly take the chance and drop one of my men out of the centre bounce.
That should have been 50 metres then. That was not thrown back correctly to Travis Johnson. We didn't see it on screen. Sorry, Dave.
Just on that point, I would nearly drop a player out of the centre. Just try, take my chances, risk I suppose, Collingwood winning possession, but drop a player out, play him off a wing and let him shoot forward.
That might be Green jumping up. Brad Green, who's gone quiet in the last probably 3 or 4 weeks. He started pretty well. He's kicked 14 goals for the year. So they're just standing up near half-time here, a couple of Melbourne players.
He doesn't mark a lot in pack situations. He's a good leader, run-on player.
Exactly, and important goal list for the Demons.
Normally a beautiful finisher, this kid.
26.5-minute mark. They kicked this goal. They've kicked 2 goals in a row late in the second quarter.
It looked like we're ready for a Collingwood avalanche. And Brad Green, who's had such a reputation for a sharpshooter last year, has just let himself down a little bit with his accuracy this year. 14 goals, 12, and his team really needed a goal there. 4-8 Melbourne, playing 9-7 at the MCG.
So, kick in Lockyer. James Clement has it. So, 27 minutes second quarter. I don't think Collingwood... Oh, danger. Woden, well done. Got back, knocked it away from McGough, and they get another bite at it. 55 from goal, Demons. Really, Green should have finished on that occasion.
Young McGough's having a super game. 15 possessions, 5 marks.
Ball of Curia doing the business on Adam Uze at the moment. Ball over the top. Collingwood will mop up. The skipper has it. Back pedals, does well. On that right foot, pinpoints McGough. Good shepherd behind the ball, Benny Johnson. McGough looks up on that right foot, just chips up. Not a great kick in the end. Needs should get there. Players in support. He takes it, and in the end, I don't think he was aware Leon Davis was sitting in behind him.
Well, really, Nathan Brown should have supplied the block there, but he went and ran to receive, and wrong option. Should have held Davis out of that contest.
Collingwood into attack. Again, McGough. Supply to Josh Fraser. Oh, no. Bounced away from the goal. Unlucky, and that's a lucky footy. Leon Davis the fight. Lacuria. Oh, tries to be tricky. It's a goal. McKee this time. Jolly first, McKee second. So Steve McKee cancels out that goal earlier from young Darren Jolly. He gets his own back, and again, numbers in and around the ball, and Demons unable to rush this through for a minor score.
Once again, really, Josh Fraser, the man that put Collingwood in a situation where they could score that goal, and really the Melbourne defenders should have done a little bit better on that occasion, but well done, McKee.
For McKee in the ruck, David Neitz is now playing a loose man in defence. Melbourne 4-8, Collingwood 10-7. White giving them first usage out of the middle. Good hands from Broadbridge. Johnston found a path when there didn't appear to be one. Powell, they need some impact from Stephen Powell. Big kick to full forward. Jolly in the front. Clement, the Magpie defence, been great today. Johnson, wobbly one, wasn't great, but turned out terrific. McGough combining with Cole. Getting it long, Fraser again. What a game he's played. Got shoved out of the road. Play on. The umpire giving Nicholson some latitude. Walsh combining with Uze. Beautiful kick. Now Johnston. Got Bruce and Powell running for him inboard. No options really up forward. Oh, he went backwards, sideways to a one-on-one contest. And the aggression shown by Freeborn. He's going to get the free kick as well, and deserved it.
Well, they were certainly outnumbered at ground level. Freeborn did well. Into attack they go, half forward, knocked away Nathan Brown, mopping up McKee, over his head, did well. Awareness of where his teammates were positioned. Lacuria around the body, low. Lockyer, very busy, good game so far, left foot, and ends up on the full, does it? No.
Yes.
No, it is. So Craig Ellis having a look back. I think he was the player able to retard Tarkin Lockyer. Cross goal we go, Uze. Johnson will take it. Travis Johnson need more possessions in the middle, and certainly forward of that centre. Walsh chips in. Nathan Brown has been busy.
They've got about 30 seconds here, Dax.
Hands off to Powell. They have to go in long. Oh, that's a terrible handball. Freeborn again stole it. Collingwood with a late chance as we go into half-time. Cole, the left footer, slipper into it. Johnson back there will save the Demons. Did well to keep himself in line. Traffic was coming. Lacuria, but Travis Johnson comes up with another touch.
Half-time then. Well, these Magpies are in sensational form. 10-7-67. Mick Moldhouse, amazingly, coaching from the bench. Like something from the 50s or 60s. Not sure when the coaching bosses first came in, Sauce. But whatever the case, he's certainly done the job, and his team has done the job for him.
Yeah, he'd be delighted with the way the Pies have played. Really set up by Chris Tarrant. And the other player I think that's played a terrific game is young McGough. He's had 18 touches for the first half of this particular game. Well, the Demons, they'd be disappointed with the way they've gone, and they really do need to regroup at half-time.
Chris Tarrant with 5 goals for the Magpies, 2 goals to Josh Fraser, who's also been great. A lot to Neil Danaher to ponder as he goes into the rooms at half-time.
Friday night, Essendon versus Hawthorn at the MCG. After being rolled last week, the Bombers are manoeuvring into position. Can the Hawks hold off the attack? Find out right here on Fox Footy Channel Friday night.
Why do we love Alexi Sale?
It's because I'm hard.
Is it because of his superior intellect?
I'm sick of my subconscious. It's like it's got a mind of of its own.
Or maybe it's his athletic prowess,
It's not the winning that's important, it's the taking drugs.
his confidence,
Yeah, I suppose so.
or his sex appeal.
Doesn't seem likely, does it, when you really think about it?
Hop on Alexi Sales merry-go-round, Sunday at 3 on the Comedy Channel.
Every week on Tech Tuesday. Atoms, fusion, fission, kinetics, cosmology, innovation. What do they mean? How do they relate to technology? And how does technology affect your life? Making sense of science. Tech Tuesday, every Tuesday night from 7:30 on Discovery Channel.
When the weekend's over, win, lose or draw, the place to see how your team fared is on The Winners.
Welcome to The Winners, where you give us 60 minutes and we give you the weekend in AFL.
That was one of the inspired wins of the club history.
He'll learn to play basketball at Colonial. Join Clinton Graves for every winning kick, mark and goal of the round. That's on The Winners, Sunday at 7:30.
Dark, cool winter's afternoon in Melbourne. Collingwood fans certainly enjoying themselves. So more than 60,000 of them here today at the MCG. We're getting ready for the second half. What do you expect, Dakes and Steve?
Well, I'd just like to see the Demons start putting it on the board at the moment. Defensively, I think Collingwood are setting up out of defence. Their use of the ball's very good in the conditions. They're keeping it low and getting players in support.
Yeah, I think the Demons really do need to win this third quarter. If they've got any chance of winning this game, they've got to pull this score back by 2 or 3 goals and come home in the last quarter with the win.
Now, I think it may be raining at the moment. Light drizzle.
Christy will certainly be able to tell us. I think she's well equipped for the rain today too, in case she does get a bit wet. Christy.
Thanks, Anthony. No, I'm not, so I'd really appreciate a raincoat if you've got one up there. There are no injury concerns for either club. The mood in the rooms, Collingwood say they are focused, Melbourne say they are focusing. So I guess we focus on the second half and see what happens. Melbourne eager to turn it around and Collingwood obviously hoping to keep that lead intact. The rain is certainly on the way, the lights are on, it is very dark here, so it'll probably help Collingwood if anything.
Well, the lead's a pretty good one at the moment, 35 points. So I wonder where Mick will end up if it starts raining.
Got a bit of bounce in his step.
Yeah. Well, he has got some spring in the step. It is a courageous decision, a strange decision by him to start to be on the bench, because if they had have lost today, and who knows, they still might, then maybe it would have attracted some criticism.
Well, you have to have the confidence in your support staff, and no doubt he had full confidence in his support staff. It gives you a different perspective at ground level, and he's down there again. I suppose you probably get that opportunity to hear a lot of the players on the ground, certainly on that side of the ground, members' side of the ground.
As much as it can get chaotic also in the coach's box, it can get quite chaotic on the interchange bench there, so he probably gets a good understanding of what actually happens down there also.
Well, Melbourne have started with Darren Jolly at full forward, Swartz back in the goal square, and it looks like just trying to track David Neitz.
Broadbridge has picked up Fraser, Nicholson on Rocker, and Ellis has lined up on Tarrant.
We're underway in the third quarter. Burns out of the middle.
Well done.
Holland tracked it beautifully. Gives them another chance. Fraser in front, Ellis. Fraser's been good at ground level. Look at the way he almost seduced the ball there, Josh Fraser. Unfortunately, the release found Cole in a bit of trouble. Well, Buckley was that high, it was.
This could be the knockout blow for the Demons. The first 5 minutes of this third quarter, if Collingwood are able to score early.
Was that a free kick? It was. It's a free kick to Brodie Holland. So the angle tight-ish, but certainly Brodie Holland pretty good in this situation.
I don't know, but I always say, I suppose with players running forward to the ball so much these days.
Just see here, Dakes, certainly a free kick.
It's very hard to, you have to compete and have to put yourself in, and in that instance, it's very hard sometimes to avoid body contact.
It is.
You just can't make contact while you're facing that way, really, can you?
Well, what do you do, concede, Hutto?
Well,
do you just allow the guy to mark it?
I guess it's very difficult. You try and turn your body in mid-air, and that's almost impossible to do well. That's why it's so tough. Holland from 30. Sharpshooter. He's kicked the goal. Magpies first in the second half. Brodie Holland's kicked 16 for the year, and Collingwood extending its lead to 41 points.
Well, and really it was his second touch in a minute and a half of this third quarter, and certainly that was a free kick, and he is a lovely kick for goal, Brodie Holland, and he slotted that one through.
Well, that's the Collingwood box without Nick Malthouse. Dean Laidley calling the shots.
And that's the problem. There is no extra seat in the box. He might have been voted out. Collingwood getting on top by Woden. Interesting to see the reaction now, or the actions of the Melbourne players in and around the ball. Liam Chally, is it a lost cause? Clement, hands and knees, does well. Out in front of Lockyer. Option was correct, then went back in far too easy. Then took actually 3 Melbourne players out of the contest. In the middle, Lacuria, cheeky. Burns slipped over. White, hands and knees, McKee back to Burns. Numbers with the Pies. Clement with plenty of time. Forward to the middle. Tarrant, look out, Demons. Just over his head. Rocker has been quiet. Knocked away Nicholson. And Rocker shins it over the line. So he's been quiet, surprisingly. Has had a fine year.
Just a couple of matchups up the other end, Dates. We have Prestigitti Como picking up Neats.
Rocker down to Holland, bounces away. Walsh through the traffic, in and out, and then hands off to Ellis out of the back pocket. Will it get to Bruce? No. Buckley's there. Bruce, good use of the body and stays in. Lucky bounce in the end to wing. Robertson's there. Neats from behind, does well. Neats will, Schwartz it was, always will give a contest. Hands off to Green, look out. Just gets his kick in. That's good. Jolly's got it. Good movement of the ball, started off half back. Cameron Bruce knocking Buckley out of the contest. Ball staying in, a little bit of luck, and then they're able to race it up into the corridor. Jolly with a chance.
Super kick by Green, and well, Mark Richardson has picked up young Jolly there. Jolly doing a fine job really up in the forward line, creating another option up there, and he's shooting at his second goal.
And a beauty at that, off the ground. Jolly with a chance. They need this one, Demons. They haven't been able to finish, and the youngster, I think, does. It's his second. So he becomes their leading scorer, Darren Jolly. 2 goals, started the game on the bench, and the Demons hit back. It's back to 35 points.
It looks like a likely type, young Jolly Dakes. He's taken 2 marks now in the forward 50s and resulted in 2 goals. And we just see here the work of David Schwartz, but in particular, I think the kicker Green set the goal up.
Rare luxury for the Demons, a mark inside 50.
So Darren Jolly kicked 2 last week. He's done it again, just testing out the Magpies' defence for height. Liam Chally out of the middle. Melbourne need to attack here. Lockyer, who's had an outstanding game. 17 possessions.
Jeff
White again.
Sorry, Hutto. Jeff White did terrifically well on that occasion. It'd be interesting to go back to that centre bounce. He actually was manoeuvring himself as the ball was in the air. Great play.
Paul Curie doing a very good job on Adamuzo as well.
White again gets a thrust forward. McDonald. Walsh from 50. He was within range. Peter Walsh gave it a fair crack and covered the distance well. Important goal kicked by Walsh. And Melbourne able to get consecutive goals on the board and maybe put a bit of pressure back on Collingwood.
Well, they have done. They've struggled to do that all day, but magnificent kick from young Walsh. But once again, Jeff White getting the hit out from the centre square bounce, and what a great kick from outside 50.
Good little give too, wasn't it, there from McDonald?
It was.
Some good spirit shown by the Demons there.
Yeah, and good support in the end. I suppose a lot of times we can criticise the player with his hands on the ball, but just so important you have numbers in and around the ball. When confronted by traffic, able to dish it off, they did. Walsh able to finish. So the reaction is good from the Demons.
And just on the hit-out stakes, Melbourne are 20-9 in front, and certainly Jeff White getting his hand on the ball.
Jeff White, excellent early part of this third quarter. Such a huge key. In long, Jolly comes out over his head. Onto it is Robertson, around the body, and minor score. Not known for his finishing, Russell Robertson.
Well, last year he kicked 42 goals, Dakes, and this year only 5.
It's good to see that actually they're playing someone on young Cloak also. He's been the free man in the first half of this game. Now Robinson is picking him up forward.
Lockyer with the kicking in duties. 11-7 playing 6-9. Demons making just a minor run at it at the moment. And you can just sense a slight change in the game. The Magpies will be keen to answer that. They just find themselves hesitating a bit. Gives Uze the chance. Did well to get the spoil. Adam Uze on the wrong side. Needed something astounding. Couldn't get it. But at least it's in their attacking area and it's a 50-50 contest.
Good pressure by the Demons.
And I would nearly actually have Jolly in the ruck here, or certainly Jeff White get back into position. Because it's so close to goal, if they can push it to a certain part of the ground, make it predictable, they're a scoring chance. No one back in the goal square, although Wakeland getting back there for Collingwood.
Oh, was that Harold Robertson? Seemed to have the jumper held, but Lockyer getting the clearing kick. Whelan did well. White, well done. He was patient, and then he kicked up to the left, looking for the Ox. Good spoil. Melbourne fans wanted a free. Brad Green, kick smothered. That was definitely a free to Schwartz, pushing back. He showed a lot of courage on that occasion.
I'm not too sure whether it was a free kick. I reckon it was a good spoil.
Stephen Silvani on the side of the defender.
Where to jump for the ball, Goats.
Okay, fair enough. Ball comes in. Bruce doing the ruck work. Tark and Lockyer out of the pack. Out of side, Nicholson. Wade in the end used his body well. Time for Wade, and they concede back to White. Another goal will be handy. Into Bruce. Goes around, hands off to Schwartz. Has players around him. Plenty of time for McDonald. Loads up. 55 from goal. It'll drop short. Cloak's got it. No, dropped it in the end. Had it and then died. Robertson hits the post. Signs are good from the D's. In general, play excellent. Getting it forward. Back to 27 points. Cloak had it and lost it on the way down. Robertson, nearly a goal.
They need to convert though, Dukes. They've kicked 6 goals, 10, and they're getting the pressure up in their forward 50 now, but they need to get the score on the board.
Maybe just a little bit of a change of fortune is what they need more than anything, Melbourne. 6-10 to 11-7.
And it was similar in the first quarter where Melbourne had all the attacking, only 5. They managed only 5 behinds, and then Collingwood really kicked them in the guts when they were able to put it on the board.
Good sign for Melbourne. They've been able to hold up the Pies here, forcing the long kick, and Schwartz in the best position to take the mark. What a grab.
McKee.
How did he take it? How did McKee take it? Rocker, suddenly the Pies moving attractively into attack again. Fraser, Broadbridge. He won the ball well. Credit to Broadbridge. White. And now the Demons need to be accurate here. Schwartz, he made the contact. Brown, over the top. Got numbers in support. McDonald, Johnson. Insatiable appetite for the ball. And productive with the kick. Brad Green. Now he needs to convert.
Super play by the Demons, and really started by young Broadbridge down in the back half. And his contest was exceptional, but great skills here by Travis Johnson.
Well, we gave Brad Green a huge rap late in that second quarter. Wasn't able to put it on the board, and normally a beautiful kick.
We mentioned though, he's been a bit off with his kicking this year. 14 goals, 12. As compared to 37 goals, 15 last year. Brad Green. Huge kick it is for the Demons.
For that.
It comes back beautifully. Nothing wrong with that kick. Melbourne 7th on the board. They've kicked 3 goals, 2-1 in this quarter.
Well, David Schwartz has worked, certainly in the middle of the ground. He's contesting, coming down. They've got numbers at ground level now, sharing it around. Travis Johnson, good to see him in the middle of the ground with a possession. And Brad Green, good reward for his teammates, able to finish off. So they're threatening at the moment, Demons. They lead by 21, just Collingwood. Into half forward, no, still in the middle. It's a free to Melbourne. It is all Melbourne at the moment. Travis Johnson comes up with it. Robertson in the corridor, looks up, over the head. It should be a mark. Neat's got it. And Collingwood not able to get back to plug holes. And David needs a skipper with a chance. And boy, do we have a game at the moment.
And there's no question that the Melbourne forwards are working a lot harder. They're actually presenting, which they failed to do in the first half of this game. And we see leads coming now from the Melbourne forwards, making it a lot easier for the Melbourne on balls to find that option.
Neats has the ball, has to finish. Is he accurate? It'll drop short. Rush through, no. Collingwood through Freeborn. Gets it out, did beautifully, Clement. Tackle, but just got his kick in. Liam Challey with his back to goal, the ball will run over the line.
Well, that's been the difference, really, the Melbourne chase and tackle. It's getting them involved back into this game, and it was what really Collingwood did in that first half. Now the roles have reversed.
So starting to win it. Schwartz's work has been excellent. The other big man is Jeff White. Lockyer will go towards the boundary, did beautifully for touch. And half forward, Collingwood, member side of the ground. Lights on at the G. 12 and a half minutes. It's a 21-point lead to Collingwood.
Big change in momentum in the last 5 minutes. The question is, can the Demons capitalise on it? White has just been winning hit out after hit out. Walsh, James McDonald, White again, the link man this time. Took a long time to get rid of it, but disposed of it pretty well. Robertson competing, Nicholson trying to move it on. This is where the Magpie defence gang up. Cloak was looking for the solace of the boundary line. Did well enough to gain some territory and find his target. 11-7 Collingwood, 7-10 Melbourne. Chris Tarrant's kicked 5 for the day, Fraser 2 for the Demons. Jolie the only multiple with 2.
I'm interested to see Neil Danaher going with Nicholson, Jolie and Neitz in the forward line. I think pretty hard to take a mark overhead.
It's a good scrap. Buckley and the Pies away. Look at him carry it through the middle. Nathan Buckley, 2 bounces, a long kick. So destructive. Nathan Buckley, what a goal! Helped by Josh Fraser. But Buckley did all the work. What about that for a response?
Super play by Bucks. Just ran the ball through the middle of the ground. Unselfish play really by the Collingwood forwards. They actually ran away from him, which allowed the space so he can run into it and actually have a shot at goal. Fraser actually ended up kicking that goal off the ground, but super play by Nathan Buckley.
Through the corridor. Fraser to finish.
Now there's a Collingwood injury.
Brodie Holland.
We'll get some update on that at the moment from Christie, but Demons need to respond. They've gone forward pretty quickly.
Liam Challey it was. Schwartz again at the ball. Travis Johnson's work in this quarter very good. James McDonald by Woden couldn't get his boot to ball. Great pressure O'Brien. Collingwood in the middle. Rocker smothered it and then off the Burns. They're running again. Great game at the moment. Where are the Collingwood forwards? Nicholson sits back to mark. Chips in. Chance for Liam Challey. Great speed on the game at the moment. Into half forward. Robertson has to mark and does.
Big challenge this for young Cloak. Robinson a very quick player. Cloak not overly down with speed, but certainly needs to just stick tight to him.
So Cameron Bruce drifting back. They're playing all the big guys at the moment. Demons chips in. That's a good kick by Woden has it. So they've got it. He'll have to kick from right on 50.
Let's get an update on that Collingwood injury from Christie.
Yeah, Brodie Holland came off. He was limping. He could hardly walk, actually. He's on the bench now, and they're just looking at it, and I'm still trying to work out exactly what they're looking at. Looks like his calf.
Brodie Holland.
Right-hand goalpost he needs to aim for here.
Why Woden? That's a good kick. That is a ripper. What a finish from Woden. And it has been all Melbourne after Collingwood started well. Fraser goal, and then through Woden they've been able to cancel that.
Clearly, Sos, you were playing at the wrong end of the ground most of your career because you knew exactly where you had to kick that.
Well, I've been watching that wind all day, and certainly when they've been missing, it's been to the left-hand goalpost, so he needed a kick for the right-hand goalpost.
Well, Mick Malthouse staying on the bench at the moment. He's got the low to the ground look, but Melbourne have been great. Collingwood have been able to respond when it matters. Burns out of the middle. Long kick, young Cole back there.
Right.
Oh, bodies going everywhere. No free kick paid. A flurry of arms and legs. Bodies going to the ground. Really, it was Melbourne players colliding with themselves. 12-7-79 Collingwood, 8-10-58 Chris Tarrant. Well held by Ellis in this quarter.
One of the reasons has been Melbourne have had it in their forward attacking zone.
Melbourne have kicked 4-2 to Collingwood, 2 goals straight in this quarter. Dangerous kick by Ellis. Kept them alive, and they've got to keep Buckley out of it off the left. Nicholson in best position to take the relieving mark.
Well, Melbourne nearly gave that up on that occasion. The Melbourne defender went at the man and forgot about the ball. Collingwood nearly scoring through Buckley or able to find a teammate.
And although Woden was a target for a moment, they haven't given Nicholson much of an option. Whelan runs for him. He has to go short to a one-on-one. Swart's going to have to be very good here. Opens it up for all the Magpie players swarming down. Nathan Buckley did it before. This time he gives young Cole the chance to kick a goal. They are just so steady at the moment, Collingwood. Richard Cole kicks the goal. I'm sorry I had to say it. You are forgiven. In his second game, Richard Cole through his first.
Well, at the moment they have all the answers. Great pressure from the Pies. Nicholson giving up the ball. Schwartz again in defence. And great awareness of where the goals were. And when you can kick goals like that, you can have your hair any colour.
And that's not a good side either for Melbourne fans.
So back in the middle, Collingwood answer. It's been a fabulous game. 27-point lead. Out of the middle has been a key to the Demons. They need to get one back. O'Brien with Burns sharing it. 55 from goal. Left foot, non-dominant side. Fraser got it. Well, at the moment, the game has been up and down. He will go short. It opens up the angle. O'Brien will play on. 25 and across goal. This is minor score.
He really should have steadied there. Had the chance to set himself up for the goal. He just rushed it.
Johnson seduced to bring it in, and the margin back out to 28 points.
Yes, back to 28. 4-2 for Melbourne for the quarter to 3-1. So they haven't really made as many inroads as they would have liked, despite playing some pretty attractive footy, Melbourne.
This will be a good contest.
Oh, Jeff White. He is playing a great game now.
What a beautiful mark.
The Pies have actually put Anthony Rocker in the in the ruck, and he's actually stemmed the tide a little bit on Jeff White.
He's had 17 possessions and 7 marks, Jeff White. The Demons organising themselves through the middle. White giving Brown the chance. He can loop it. Green, we know he can finish. He's got the time. He didn't have a shot. He wants the height of Jolly, who did well to compete. Oh, Melbourne. Russell Robertson needed a change of luck. Went for Ward instead of snapping, and Ward's missed it across the face. Mark's been paid.
Well, you just have to ask yourself, did he hold it long enough?
David Neitz.
Collingwood had to do a better job with rushing that through.
Well, was really the goal umpire's call on that occasion?
He's actually on a... Oh, McKee has come out a little bit from the mark to try and impede Neitz, who does a pretty good job of it, but can't kick the goal, and that was what he needed to do. 8-11, 59 Melbourne, Collingwood 13-8. Let's have another look.
Pretty tough to really make an opinion there, but
50-50, wasn't it?
The goal umpire was right on the spot, though.
Buckley brings it in. Collingwood are in the corridor at the moment. Johnson out wide. Big ass. Robertson will contest. Does well. Float's got it.
He's composed, isn't he?
Beautiful mark. Has been a huge bonus for the Pies. Enough being said about him so far. Just hopefully he can maintain it for the rest of the year. No one there. Oh, 2 Melbourne guys collide. It's a free against Cole for a push. Pushing Nicholson into...
He did the right thing, though, Cole, there. He made a contest.
Ward will mark. So they've got it and working in the middle, and that's been a good sign. White is out wide, has been fabulous in this quarter. Will take it. Right on wing, chips in danger. Johnson, well done. But there as it was. On that right foot, cheeky with the outside of the right boot, knocked away by Woden. The game has gone up another peg. The Melbourne are still in this, without a doubt. 27-point lead to the Pies. Just over 21 minutes, third quarter.
Next 5 minutes, very important for Melbourne.
Rocker front position. This is where Collingwood could possibly get a third man up in this rock contest to stop the dominance of White. Front position again. He does beautifully while the ball's in the air to reposition himself. McDonald skips around, then bombs in long. Robertson's already there underneath the ball. Did well to get his hand to it, McKee. Cloak mops up, Matheris. They're into attack again. Oh, Lockyer's got it. Danger now, Leon Davis. Drills it, it'll bounce. Tarrant skips around on that left foot. He's 5, slipped as he kicked it. Under a lot of pressure, to be fair. Melbourne will take it out of the back pocket.
Let's get an update on Adam Uze from Christie.
And Anthony was involved in a collision and he's now sitting on the bench. He's quite all right, but he's just holding an ice pack to the side of his head now.
Again, Melbourne defenders flirting with danger there on the way out. McDonald's kicks good though. Opens it up for Walsh.
He has had a good third quarter. Walsh has given them plenty of run.
Well, they've got it in much quicker, haven't they, into half forward, and given their forwards a chance in this quarter. And they've been good. Green, Longdon needs Jolly at the back. Again, he brought the ball to the front. Let's see what his skills are like at ground level. Well, Robertson wasn't ready for it. He was surprised. Jolly probably could have kicked the goal himself. And the Demons just coming undone at the crucial stages. And Collingwood, how's their transition this time? Pretty fair. Rocker holding it up. As they run through the middle.
Got to square this up.
Lots of arms. Clement on the opposite side. The lead comes from Tarrant again, and Leon Davis. Broadbridge running with him now. Here's Leon Davis, but trying to electrify the Collingwood crowd. Oh, he's going to get a free, surely. Holding the man, not paying. Oh, he was playing for it, but gee, it didn't look like he was held.
Well, he was slung. I think they have been playing that sling. Players have to let go of the guy as they release the ball.
He's got some speed, Broadbridge, as well to start.
Oh, Travis Johnson, he is so laconic. It is unbelievable that he gets away with it this time. Just treading water, and his left foot kick missed the target. White lock. Nowhere to go, no one to give it to. No one came at him, as it turned out. And he's made it difficult again. That's got to be a free for in the back. Advantage paid. Green takes it. Here's Jolly again. He's had an impact, Darren Jolly. And he could have had more of an impact.
He goes all right this year. I think he's been terrific, Sus.
He's a likely type. He's done everything that Neil Denner has asked him for, and certainly providing that option up forward. Here's the free kick in question. Well, he really didn't hold on to him.
No, I think the umpire made a good call then.
Good effort by Broadbridge.
So Darren Jolly, who's competed well up forward, he's kicked 2 goals. Boy, this is a big kick for Melbourne. From 51 metres, didn't look like great contact. Neats, he's marked it. Was it touched?
No, it wasn't.
Well, the
Collingwood
players are claiming that it was touched off the boot.
Yeah, well, you would, being a Carlton man, Sus. It's going to come back to Neats. Well,
don't know why he's calling him back.
So David Neats,
let's see if he's learned from his last shot. Here's that. No, the trajectory of the ball didn't change. Had it have been touched, it might have questioned you there, Dakes.
8 disposals, 4 marks.
Yeah, you've done that much for most of the afternoon.
What's that, disagree with you?
No, exactly.
And 1 behind. He had a go from earlier, and he's done no better this time. In fact, only just sneaks in for a behind. 8 goals, 12-60. They're still circling the Demons, but they just can't get goals on the board. Collingwood 13-8, 86 the margin, 26 points. We're getting close to three-quarter time.
Buckley, Clement does well, just to tidy up. Off a step, normally a beautiful kick. There's 2 out here for Collingwood. Richardson will jump with Cloak and take the mark. Hands off. Cloak has Wakeman on the outside, decides to go inboard, does beautifully, draws and over the top McKee. Has to find someone. 60 from goal, into the pocket. Leon Davis. Oh, beautiful jump. Has been paid. Nathan Brown actually stole it in the end. Ask yourself whether he held it long enough, Leon Davis. The umpire thinks so. Well, I think he had a hand to it. Such is the luxury of the replay. Leon Davis has been known to kick him from here.
Uze is back on for Melbourne.
Right over his shoulder, Leon. What a finish. They've done it again. That has been the difference in this game. 4 goals from boundary shots clearly is one of the reasons Collingwood lead this game.
And once again, set up by young Clegg there. Very composed, but really Collingwood have answered the challenge here. Melbourne got off to a terrific start in this third quarter. They've kicked 4 goals, but now Collingwood have kicked their 4th in this third quarter.
So Buckley off the ground for Collingwood at the margin 32 points. He seems to be okay. We'll get a check on that shortly. Jolly in the ruck now, so White has pushed into the goal square. Woden had a bounce. 3 minutes remaining. What an important 3 minutes it is for Melbourne.
And why wouldn't you play Jeff White down there with his timing at the moment in the tricky conditions when he's clearly been the most dominant player overhead. His marking has been sensational. Now it'll be handy for the Demons if he's able to put it on the scoreboard.
8 marks, 20 disposals, so Neil Danaher not leaving any club in the bag so far today. He's trying everything. Johnston, Didak, Rocker.
Oh,
they've got great momentum, haven't they, out of the middle when they get going. Nicholson scrapping hard. Lockyer and Brian Sheen calling for a bounce.
Well, it has been a fabulous game, and certainly Melbourne in general play have worked their way back into it. Collingwood lead by 32, but do not write the Demons off at the moment.
Lockyer's had 22 possessions for Collingwood, 18 for McGough and Burns, 17 for Clement.
Jeff White, 20 touches, you may mention. Nathan Brown, 15 for the Demons.
Chris Tarrant, the major goal kicker, on the ground with 5, 3 to Josh Fraser.
If Melbourne can get a little bit more out of Stephen Powell, Neeks certainly has had a better third quarter. Schwartz is also starting to get a little bit of the ball. They certainly need a few more of their midfield getting the ball.
Woden thrusting it forward. Robertson and Clegg. It's been a really good battle this in the third quarter. Robertson trying hard. Off the left, getting it in now, Jeff White. How's your mark timing now?
Push.
Well, not on that occasion.
Did it pretty well, though. Richo just forced him underneath the ball.
I don't know if he got his hands into Jeff White's back, though.
But what an important stage this is. McKee bombing for the wing.
And Melbourne should kick out in front of Jeff White. Jeff White was already in the goal square when that ball was coming. He should start in the opposite forward pocket and run at it.
Bold run from Didak. Pumps it in there. Tough for Fraser. Got 3 to beat. He almost did. He at least meant the contest. Was giving Burns a chance. Josh Fraser. He's kicked 3 for the day, Josh. This could be his 4th. It is. What a kick from Josh Fraser. The number 1 draft player has emerged now as a star. Collingwood lead by 38. And Josh Fraser perhaps is playing his best game since he was drafted with so much raps. There's the free kick that wasn't paid at the other end.
Scott Burns coming off the ground. Paul Lucuria replacing him. He's had a pretty good game, Scott Burns. 19 possessions.
So 15 goals in 3 quarters of football. Free scoring from Collingwood at the moment. They lead by 38. Maybe getting to the stage where it's enough, but they have been here before in this game. Demons hitting back. Can they do it again? Out wide. Matthew Whelan runs onto it on that left foot. Demons need a goal before 3/4 time. Robertson or Mars.
It's been good, Robertson.
Good signs. At least he's getting his hands on the ball. Get a little bit deeper, maybe able to score. No, Wakeland underneath it. Well done. Contest Neats. A ground level Freeborn. Last ditch effort before 3/4 time. Neats will centre it. White will jump. Not able to hold on to it. Numbers, well done. It was James Clement able to get himself in there. Nathan Brown with a little bit of time. Will the boundary beat him? As the siren goes to 3/4 time. Fabulous third quarter of football. Anzac Day clash has it Collingwood lead by 38. It's 15-8-98. The Demons 8-12-60.
Really a super quarter of footy there. The Demons are on top of the first half of this particular quarter, but full credit to the Pies. They really did fight back. Josh Fraser, an outstanding player. Scott Burns was also outstanding. They answered the challenge, Collingwood, and really it's going to be tough for the Demons in this last quarter.
In the end, they won that quarter. Collingwood, they kicked 5 goals, 1 to 4-4, and the margin is 38. They haven't had a huge output from Anthony Rocker today. Neil Danaher, well, can he do it? It's an enormous task, the Demons, the margin 38.
It's black and white TV on Fox Footy Channel with the Collingwood Club Show.
This is where it all happens.
Well, that's the bonus, isn't it?
It's good fun. Well, it means a lot to me. Chicks love me, huh?
Wednesday night is Pie Night, so join us at 5:30 on Fox Footy Channel.
In the beginning, all men are equal. But through quarters, semis, and finals, we will crown our king of the ring.
Well, you might want to put the women and children to bed on this one.
WWE King of the Ring. Live on Main Event, Monday, June 24, 10 a.m. Call your service provider and book now.
We're green, boys and girls.
Get ready for your weekly fix of adrenaline with Inside Speed, Speed Week, Motor World, Race Fever, and Power Tour.
Oh! That's just insane.
Offering you all the best domestic and world motorsport news you'll ever need. So if you want to know what's hot and what's not, stick around right here, where the motorsport never ends.
It's a good scrap. Buckley and the Pies away. Look at his carrier through the middle. Nathan Buckley, 2 bounces, a long kick. So destructive. Nathan Buckley, what a goal! What a goal indeed from Nathan Buckley. Well, it was credited to Josh Fraser, and Fraser's played a great game. He's kicked 4. He's been there all day. Tarrant didn't get a goal in that quarter. Davis, Didak and Holland have been dangerous. McKee, Cole and Lacuria. 3-quarter time at the MCG. Collingwood 15 goals, 8-98. Melbourne 8-12-60. The margin is 38. Can Neil Danaher conjure up something? There is fresh legs, Steve.
Well, I think young Williams is the guy that has played least amount of footy, but certainly Jolly and Green are the 2 forwards that need to come on and play a fair bit of an impact game in this last quarter.
The other one is Stevie Powell, and for the Pies, all running players. Certainly Didak was good in that second quarter. Brodie Holland may not reappear because of a leg injury. O'Brien, as we've come to know of O'Brien, very good at being able to win possession. So I just think one of the differences in the game has been Collingwood's ability to kick goals from, I suppose, unexpected goals from boundary. They've probably in total 4-5.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Mick Malthouse has managed his team pretty well today. Let's have a look at the player rankings. We talked about Josh Fraser, perhaps his best game for Collingwood. 15 disposals, 6 marks and 4 goals won. Outstanding effort.
Well, they've probably conceded out of the ruck. Jeff White is dominating probably that area, getting his hand the ball. Collingwood are still sharking it, but Josh Fraser across half forward, 4 goals.
Nathan Buckley still on the bench. Here's Christie.
Yeah, thanks, Anthony. He's starting on the bench, although he doesn't appear to have any injury concerns, unlike Chris Tarrant, who actually came off at the end of that last quarter. So looking at his leg, Mick Malthouse spoke to him, and he is actually back on the ground now, so it seems right. Brodie Holland won't make another appearance.
Last quarter, the margin is 38. Can Melbourne make an impact? O'Brien getting the ball forward. Demons with the extra man across half-back. Uze, who was injured for a while but seems to have recovered, put it out in front of Robertson. This has been one of the encouraging signs, I reckon, for Melbourne today. Robertson finding himself on the end of the footy. It wasn't a great kick. Powell, little chance.
Melbourne are playing 4 tall forwards. They've got Meach, Jolly, also Schwartz and Green up in the forward half alongside Robinson also.
Great play from McKee. Didn't get there too early.
Oh, Fraser. He's right on today. 8 marks now for Josh Fraser. He's just been getting better and better. They had a slow preparation to this season. It wasn't his best kick. Lockyer and Nicholson, who's worked really hard for Melbourne today across half-back.
He's taken 7 marks, Alistair Nicholson.
Jeff White just off screen, dropping back between about 25 from the Collingwood goal. So he's looking to play that kick behind the plate.
We see the distance there between Ellis and Tarrant. Starting well in front of him, Ellis.
Well, he's keeping Tarrant predictable, who has to run into the left of that pocket.
And that's where it heads now. It doesn't quite make it Walsh. He's a good inclusion, isn't he, for Melbourne, Walsh? Gives us some dash off half-back. Schwartz, one-on-one with Wakeland. Good struggle there. Play on was the call. And the Magpies, was that a sub in the back? It was. Walsh was up and away, but
I think David Schwartz, the thing is with David Schwartz, I mean, a guy that's 100+ pounds shouldn't be thrown around that easy. I think the umpire wasn't taken in by it.
He's done well, Wakeland.
Schwartz has only had 4 contested marks for the whole year going into today.
So Lucuria, early goal for the Pies, would probably send the Demons packing, if not already. Tarrant nearly able to hold it again. Ellis, get rid of it, he does. Leon Davis at his feet is good. McGough, hands off Tarrant, sharing it O'Brien. He goes here, and he misses everything. May well have been the end for the Demons.
Don't forget yesterday, Dakes. The margin was 38 points that Carlton were ahead of. Have you forgotten yesterday, Steve?
I've put it in the back of my mind.
You didn't go off to Lygon Street on... you weren't there on Saturday night, were you?
38 points is the margin here as it was yesterday afternoon.
So I'm just saying, just quite a few windows being broken in Lygon Street on Saturday night. Broadbridge brings it in, half forward. White standing, won't mark. Ground level foul on to James McDonald. They need a goal early. Give themselves a chance. Schwartz will mark.
Get it in.
Just forward to the middle. One step. Robertson gets a hand to it. Was good. Mopping up Johnson for Collingwood. Chips in. Wakeland will mark. Turns around quickly. Another feature of their game. Running onto it, but Theris did well. Eyes on the ball. Hands off. McGough. A bit quieter since half-time, Tarrant. Fell into his arms in the end. Into the middle. If they lose it here, Demons with a chance to run it down the other end. Here they go. Schwartz out wide, no. Through the guts he goes. Into the middle. Chance now. Green. Turn around and find someone. Out wide. That's a good kick. Collingwood always in trouble. Jolly not paid. That's the time will run and get run down. Just gets the hand off. Richardson into the middle. Wakeland confronted. Draws Schwartz and then a Didac over the top. McKee missed him. Has a bit of time. Runs onto the left foot. You are gone. Advantage. Schwartz. Demons with a chance.
Here they're working hard, Melbourne. They need a change of luck. Robertson hit the pack hard. Good work from Neitz. He's really trying to do it on his own, David Neitz. Couldn't. Bodies hitting hard from both teams. Johnston crashing through. Here's a go for Ward. He's dragged out. It's all happening out there at half forward. The umpire forced the call for the whistle and the bounce.
Well, they're not done with it at the moment, the Demons. They're certainly in there and giving themselves every chance.
That is a mark.
Oh. Well, if it's not a mark, it's probably a free kick under the normal interpretations. But anyway, Melbourne have got to forget about it and just try and hit back with a score. Green couldn't release the handball effectively, but Theris got his wobbling kick away. O'Brien, Didac, a little bit of confusion there. And the Demons keeping it alive. McDonald, no. Leon.
Uzo should have handed off.
Leon Davis. Didac into the space. Clever. Gained him another 30 metres.
I see too many players in that type of position look to get it onto their boot. It looks better on a stat sheet, I know, but Uzo should have got that ball, speared that ball off by hand. So chance for the Pies. Demons certainly have had their chances in the last 2-3 minutes. Ball will come in. McGough through the traffic to O'Brien. Wasn't fazed by the pressure after being grabbed straight into the air. Free to Nicholson, no. Lockyer will run with the ball. Kicks over the top. Tarrant will come out, can hand off. Running away from goal. Chance for Rocker now. Plenty of time and plenty of time to finish. It is good. First goal to Anthony Rocker, but he hasn't had to put it on the board because he's had players like Tarrant and Fraser. Tarrant this time the provider. Good support from Lockyer. Good finish in the end.
Too many guns really, Collingwood. Tarrant, Rocker, Fraser, Davis, Richardson up forward. They're just too difficult to hold.
Yeah, such a potent forward line. Not a bad bench either, is it, with Buckley and Burns having a rest. Powell. Johnston and Johnson. Betheris. O'Brien. Green. Lockyer. One of the footy perhaps more than the others. Jeff White, the Demons can't afford to stop. They've got to keep going. Swartz. Bullet-like pass. Gave the opportunity for Jolly. Crashing through Robertson. Finally, his luck's changed. And Robertson kicks a goal for the Demons. They've got one back.
Well, they really have to play this game out, and you made mention of the game yesterday. I mean, that's the best example that Neil Danaher could have used a three-quarter time. They have to play it out, still in there with a chance.
He's given him something though, Robertson. He's worked very hard. He's been one forward that really has been on the move constantly, and he's got his just deserves here.
Hasn't been anything wrong with the way the Demons have won possession of the ball. It's been their finishing. Robertson able to do the job there. McDonald onto Powell, the left footer. Will run back onto that left foot, you'd imagine. No, kicks it running to the right and then spears it. Neats has it. So good movement out of the middle. And David Neats will kick from just inside 50. Certainly a testing kick. Goal here. The lead 38 points at the moment. Back to 32. Gives them an opportunity. And the skipper not able to produce. Knocked through by Cloak. Minor score.
They do it well, the Pies. They get across to assist. They got their tall defenders back just to rush that ball through. It's disciplined play.
Neil Danaher contemplating the Demons' second loss at home for the year only. They won 4 of the first 5 this year, Melbourne, and now it looked like they've only been able to win 2 of the last 6.
I did say the Demons certainly in there with a chance, but to be fair to them, Collingwood are better equipped these days in defence.
I think they've answered every challenge, Dave.
Yeah, they have. They've done that for the whole season, Collingwood. Leon Davis. And this is why young players like Davis and this man, Jason Cloak, getting a rare run up forwards.
Good display.
Launching it again. And guess who's on the end of it? Oh, Tarrant, maybe the element. He'll go to the left. He has to. It's the only way he can go. Leon Davis goes in for a second go.
Is that anything like... That was similar to Uze's in the third quarter. Now, with Tarrant, he had it. Tried to go back towards goal and dropped it in the end. They have to be a lot more consistent. Here it is again. And we witnessed Uze being lumped with a similar type thing earlier in the game.
Throw in Rocker. Nicholson. Johnston. Ambitious handball, pretty good. Uze, though, had to go back onto his left, so it undid some of the good work, but at least they've maintained possession. Shane Woden. His game today, 16 possessions, make it 17 now, and a couple of goals. Gee, they're going the hard way about it here.
Trouble.
Just on the wrong side of the line, I thought. No, the umpire's saying it bounced in. Doesn't matter as it turns out because Collingwood maintained possession. O'Brien, Cloak.
Keeps finding the ball, Cloak.
O'Brien. Pretty untidy passage from both teams, and it ends with a Rocker lead. And we know that he's in range from here.
Cloak coming back onto the ground.
Yeah, Cloak off for Collingwood.
He's a chance from here.
Jason Cloak, 18 possessions for the day. We'll get an update on him in a moment from Christie, but here's Anthony Rocker as we saw a quiet day, just the 2 marks, kick 1 goal. Just sets it up. Tarrant, Fraser, O'Brien. And let's get that update from Christie.
Yeah, Jason Cloak is just having his right calf checked at the moment. He did call the physio out into the ground a little while ago, said he was all right to stay on and obviously changed his mind, so they're just checking that now.
Ball comes in. White through the traffic. Drew a player. Still under pressure, Demons. Well done, Cole.
Well done.
Great play. Drops short of Fraser. Off the ground, Ellis is there. Does well. Whelan on the line and stepping back is Woden. They can see the minor score and get themselves out of the pressure situation. 104 Collingwood, 105 Collingwood, 67 Demons. Actually, scoreboard, I don't know whether our scoreboard's wrong or the scoreboard here at the G. Back with the play, Powell. Back by hand to Powell. Uze it was. Straight in the air, Nicholson waiting for it. And Powell over the line. Too high on Buckley. And against Stephen Powell, as players go at it. So the Collingwood skipper comes up with it. Silly play from Powell, a little bit frustrated. Good kick, McGough, knocked away. Well done by Woden. So I think Collingwood would be pretty happy at the moment. Powell just silly. That's not a show of strength. In the end, the Collingwood skipper leading by example. Ball will come in. I think Collingwood would be happy for this game just to go on its course as it's going. No change to the scoreboard. Too high, but there is again Collingwood putting themselves in. Silly free kick. Stephen Powell again.
They've been disciplined, Collingwood Dates.
Well,
they've done everything right today.
Eyes for the ball only. And when you talk controlled aggression, Stephen Powell certainly hasn't had it in the last half a minute. They go back. McKee in no rush, controlling the tempo of this game, Collingwood. Back behind the middle we have Richardson. Back to McKee. No need to get it on too quickly. Burn up a little bit of time.
Well, there's not one Melbourne player in their half of the ground.
Johnson.
In the forward half of their ground.
Runs off. Does he drill? Rocco the direction. It's got it. They worked it well, and when you consider gave Melbourne ample time to get players back, and still the Demons coming up short and not able to pick Collingwood off as Nicholson hurt while trying to contest this one with Rocker, and Anthony Rocker ready to tie this game up.
And I guess that's the thing, Dates. They didn't panic. They just used the usable option, and they just waited for the correct option to come.
Well, it's all starting to fall apart, Sauce, at the moment. It tends to happen.
He's in a bit of trouble, Nicholson.
Huge trouble. Knee.
Let's hope it's not too serious.
Well, he looks like he's had a history of problems with that knee. As you can see, the bandaging.
And they're bringing the stretcher out for him. So that'll be it for the day for Alistair Nicholson. 14 minutes gone in this last quarter.
Let's hope that's all it is.
Yeah. He's had a pretty good season, really, too. He's been their #1 big defender and probably gets the toughest job every week.
Was used as a forward in that second quarter. I think it was late in that second quarter. So, had been moved around. Let's hope he is all right, and it's not long term.
Well, just on Melbourne then, Steve, I mentioned they started the season in a blaze of glory. They won 4 of the first 5. They've only won 2 of the next 6. Where are they at?
Well, listen, they'd be very disappointed with their effort today. It was always going to be difficult. We'll just have a look at this, how Alistair Nicholson has hurt his knee.
Just seems innocuous enough, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's gone down with pain.
Yeah, but I think they've really had a crack today, though. I just think that they've just come up against a side that has had too many answers for them. The Collingwood forwards have just been too potent, and they just haven't been able to match them up down there.
Sauce, I just reckon when you consider they have Needs, Sator playing out of the goal square, Schwartz, and they tend to be very wide and short. They're not direct enough, and they don't get it in quick enough, and then we tend to criticise the work of, say, David Neitz. Yet they ask the guy, I suppose, with slow movement in, he has to contest against 2 and 3 defenders, not only his direct opponent.
And they really did struggle early on in this game to find those forwards that did keep presenting. And Schwartz is probably one of the few, but certainly, I guess they've missed Peter Vardy today up forward, and they'd dearly love to have him at. But this is a big loss.
Wheatley's another one who they would like to have in their team because he gives them that pace and flexibility out of defence.
So Anthony Rocker with a chance now to finish. Certainly this game off for the Demons. The Collingwood juggernaut continues. Anthony Rocker. The goal is his return. Bye-bye, Mr. Sherrin. It's goal number 2. So Anthony Rocker has 2, and the lead is now out to 44 points. It's not just a small margin. Collingwood are finishing off the Demons. Good mix at the moment. Marking options, players at ground level. Started slowly and is finishing off on the right note.
17-9 to 9-13 at the MCG. Collingwood outstanding again today. Melbourne trying to thrust forward here. Schwartz, Mark not played, must have been touched off the boot or not 15.
And the loss of Nicholson coming off the ground, Melbourne have been forced to put David Neitz back on Anthony Rocker.
Contested possessions. One area where certainly Collingwood have been in front today. Good crowd here today too, 65,000 people. And Melbourne going forward. Whelan, probing kick, Jolly. Oh, almost got there, not quite. Robertson trying to tackle Buckley, couldn't stop Ingy. Clement's been good again in defence today for the Pies. But what about Collingwood? Are they the real deal?
Well, on today's effort, I think they're super side. They've still got a few players to come back. Nick Davis, they've got Jared Malloy and also Scott Cummings. So they've not only got a good core of 22 players out there at the moment, they've certainly got some depth at their club at the moment, and that's very important going into a final series.
And that's saying a lot, Ardo, when you get a Carlton man saying that they're a super team.
Lacuria linking up this time with Fraser. Look at the way they move it. Nathan Buckley lining up again. He's cracked it up for a poster. $17 goals, 10. 112 to 9-13, 67. And poor old Nathan, it's about the only thing that hasn't gone right for him this year is his kicking at goal.
Another good sign for Collingwood. He hasn't dominated the game, and it has been the case for most of the year. I mean, he's had a very consistent year, but nowhere near the type of player he has been. So Collingwood's certainly sharing the workload now. Johnson into half forward. Demons. Robertson. Sat beautifully for Clement. Gave him every opportunity. Goes to the boundary. And we have a boundary throw in half forward out of side.
Just more on Collingwood, Steve. They are Victoria's great white hope at the moment, aren't they? Because the top 3 teams on the ladder, interstate teams going into today.
You're pushing me now, mate. I'm a Carlton supporter. I don't know if I can be barracking for Collingwood in the finals.
I wouldn't say you had to barrack for them, but in terms of Victorian teams, they are leading the way.
Well, they are. Lacuria into the middle, big ask here. Clearly outnumbered was Batheris. Taking it was Whelan. Matthew Whelan into the pocket, looking for a marking option. Clement again. Robertson too high. And a little bit unlucky in the end were Collingwood. With an unlucky bounce. Robertson being caught a little bit high. But a good positive sign for the Demons, even in this loss, has been this man's form, Russell Robertson. Worked very hard. Has a goal. Not known for his finishing ability. Russell Robertson, let's hope he finishes. And a cross goal. Final score. 9-14-68 Demons. 17-10, 112 Collingwood. Just over 20 minutes last quarter.
He's kicked 1 goal, 3 for the day, Russell Robertson. And there's another pleasing sign, isn't it, for Collingwood the last 3 weeks? Shane O'Brien back to full fitness and back to full form. But Veris, he knew where Didak was. Terrific ball awareness. Rocker comes out to lend some support. Tarrant makes his lead. Meantime, Didak switching back inboard. McGough, Lacuria. Gee, it's a big roost. Fraser trying to get on the end for his 5th goal. Tarrant will kick his 6th instead. What a great combination 4. And Anthony Rocker's kicked 2. He's had an off day. And they've got Scott Cummings to come back in and Jared Malloy.
And I just saw 3 of their really future young stars. Fraser, Tarrant and Leon Davis. And what an exciting forward line that is for Collingwood.
He wouldn't have kicked too many right-foot goals in his career either. Fabulous game from Chris Tarrant, but he puts himself in and around the ball, Hutto, so he gives himself every opportunity. Schwartz off the bench. He's had a long afternoon. Certainly tried, no doubt about that. Wakeland out wide. Collingwood have not finished. Tarrant may well. They are finishing this game out. And another pleasing sign for Mick Malthouse is that ability. This game was clearly won early in this last quarter. Again, Tarrant jumping, just hovering. Good, strong mark. And lining up for goal number 7. He's going for 25 for the year, so starting to make a bit of a chase for Barry Hall and Kent Kingsley at the top of the goal-kicking list. He's a good player, Hutto. Certainly greatest strength, his ability to run onto the ball. Allow him some space and he'll cut you up. Does he cut the Demons up here? No. On a score? No! He knew. 7 goals to Chris Tarrant. And as you made mention, what a partnership this afternoon. He and Josh Fraser have certainly been a handful. Again, they set up out of defence. Wakeland, poor kick from the Demons. And again, the speed at which they move the ball, spot on. But they're lining up for the spoils now. 19-10 to 9-14. White still trying his guts out in the middle. Ian Shelley. The run from Walsh. But Theris kept the pressure up. Went all the way with him to the line. 19-10 to 9-14 for Theris and Walsh.
I was just looking at really some of the recruiting Collingwood have done over the last few years. They have something like out on that ground, 8 or 9 players from other clubs. Buckley, Holland, Clement, Freeborn, O'Brien, McKee, Wakeland, Lucuria, Rocker. They've also got Cummings and Malloy in that group. So they've done pretty well in picking up players from other clubs.
Well, under Mick Malthouse, that has been the difference. I think certainly the turnaround in the football club has been their recruiting, and I think more importantly the development of a lot of the players.
And they've still gone with some youth as well. Certainly guys like Fraser, Leon Davis, Mick Davis, McGough, and also Cloak. It's a very good mix amongst the more senior blokes with Buckley and Rocker and these sorts of players around.
Buckley. Prestigiacomo. Not one of the best exits out of defence. Gives Melbourne a chance, and Walsh has worked really hard for the Demons today. Got a bit extravagant and carried away there, perhaps under pressure. McDonald blasts away and misses almost the lock. So we're inside the last 5 minutes, and it's Collingwood 19-10, 124. Melbourne 9-15-69.
James McDonald on screen. Certainly been fairly quiet this afternoon. Started off all right. But, he's not alone in that area. A lot of the midfield's clearly beaten. There he is on screen. Wakeland again giving a contest. Ball to come in.
Melbourne have Adelaide in 2 weeks' time. Of course, they have the break next week, but pretty important game for the Demons at Optus Oval.
Walsh, Johnson, smothered in the end. O'Brien overruns it. Tricky bounce in the end, sharing it again. Use it beautifully through the traffic. Buckley, just behind the middle, carries it after 2 bounces, moves it in long, 30 from goal. Back in the squares, Josh Fraser, Rocker with his back to him, will go back. And Anthony Rocker, who started slowly, is finishing on the right note, has 2 goals, but the skipper, good carry of the football. And in the end, great use of the body, too strong.
Well, he's got his confidence, really. It's taken some quite some time for Anthony Rocket to really come of age, but he's had the, I guess, the trust through the Collingwood Match Committee, and they've worked very hard with him, and he's finally given him, or repaying them all faith.
And he misses, and he is the leading player in contested marks in the competition, Anthony Rocker. 30 scoring shots. Demons haven't been far away, 24. 26 and a half last quarter.
Well, just getting back to Collingwood, they almost defeated Port Adelaide. They beat Brisbane, so they've shown they can mix it with the top teams. Is there any deficiencies, any weaknesses they need to work on if they're to be a real threat come September?
Well, I think if as an area, and I think we continually, I'm looking for the drop-off. At the moment, they've got a really good balance of good players. Everyone is doing their little bit. And if you weigh them up man for man with, say, the Lions, quality-wise and Port Power, although they're getting close to Port Power, they're probably not as great individually, but I just think as a team, well up there at the moment, and I just don't know whether the workload, they're able to carry it for 22 rounds.
Well, they've got that man Rocker, who's probably the best at taking contested marks, along with Treadray in the whole league at the moment. We talked about their forward line. Their midfield this year has, with getting Burns back and adding McGough to it, and Batheris has stood up, and now they've got O'Brien back in the last month.
And I guess they can put Leon Davis in there, sometimes Nick Davis. So they've worked pretty hard at this at building this team, but we're halfway through a season.
Yeah, it is. In fact, after today, the halfway stage of the year, and the Magpies will go in with 8 victories, which is an outstanding performance. O'Brien or Ward really worked hard to get that free kick, earned it just by diving on the footy.
And I think one of the reasons the club has improved, Mick Malthouse's use of his players and sharing the workload has been very good so far after 11 rounds.
Johnson discerned the right target there. That was Liam Shelley. Demons looking for a consolation goal or two. Nathan Brown pumping it in. Jolly. Cole. And the Pies not able to clear the area that time. Luke Williams, who hasn't seen an enormous amount of game time today.
I just think with the Demons as well,
here's a chance for them. Nathan Brown popping up to take the ground.
Well, that's been better, but I think a lot of their disposals in general play does tend to let them down. They're very wide. I think they're a little bit predictable as well.
I feel that really they didn't get the score on the board early. Yeah. They missed easy shots and they didn't put scoreboard pressure on Collingwood, and I think that's hurt them throughout this game.
He's kicked 6 goals for the year, Nathan Brown, so he has been able to get forward and convert, and he's done the job pretty well there. So that's Melbourne's second goal of the last quarter, 2-3-15, they've kicked for the quarter. Collingwood have kicked 4-3. So Collingwood have won every quarter, Steve. Now they lead 19-11 to 10-15.
They have, but I guess this is one of the Demons' positive signs. Nathan Brown's had a pretty good year of his first half of the year, and he snuck down here to kick his first goal of the game, but certainly there's not too many shining lights for the Demons today.
Nathan Brown able to finish off. Playing the game out the Demons. Still in control Pies. 50-point margin. It's been a terrific victory. Batheris through the traffic, slapped it out. Cole, Didak, Johnson. Running numbers again. Fraser took it and ran off. Didn't get flustered. Cole out in front. Second bite. Leon Davis over the top to Rocker. He can draw. No, decides to kick. He kicks a poster. Just didn't get in. He had O'Brien running again. Should have handed it off and rewarded Shane O'Brien's running. So there he is apologising. That's fair enough. Anthony Rocker has finished off well. Demons have it.
Liam Shelley escaping out of defence. Searching for Bruce, who had the job on Buckley and quelled him for much of the day. But Nathan Buckley, at important times, made a big contribution, 20 possessions for the day, so probably slightly down on his averages, Nathan Buckley, but still has
spent some time on the bench as well, Nathan Buckley.
Still done some good things, hasn't he?
Stat sheet will show that the Demons in midfield, certainly Liam Shelley 19 touches, but a lot of those out wide and very short. And a lot of his teammates, again, the same. And you compare it with a lot of the quality touches of Collingwood's midfield, you can understand why the Pies lead comfortably.
We've gone 31 minutes. There will be a fair bit of time, of course, because Nicholson went off injured. They had to bring the stretcher on. So we may have a bit of time to go. 19-12 to 10-15. Rest of Giacomo. Here's Uze up forward. And missing everything as it turned out. So getting close to the end this last quarter, Collingwood outscoring Melbourne 4-4 to 2-3. Some other possession winners of the day. O'Brien 24 possessions, McGough 24, Lockyer 26, Clement 22, McKee and Lacuria 20 each. Jeff White for Melbourne, you saw him there on screen, rolling out on the full. 22 possessions for Jeff White, 9 marks and 16 kicks.
Wonderful game, Jeff White. Clearly Melbourne's best.
Travis Johnson, who's racked up the possessions, 26 possessions, but as you said, Dave's probably not as destructive as some of the Collingwood midfielders.
We just saw young Cole there intercept the ball. Very exciting young play, Dakes. Another find for the Pies.
Yep. And they do share it around, and if you put yourself in the area, you will get possession of the ball. So
Walsh, and there it is. Melbourne put out of their misery. Mick Malthouse had a different perspective on it today from the bench, but he would have liked what he saw. Collingwood 19-12, 126, defeating Melbourne 10-15, 75, and the Pies confirming their status as one of the top 4 clubs in the competition, and at the moment, the top side out of Victoria.
Well, Pies, a fabulous victory, 51 points in the end, Sauce.
And I think the positive that come out of it, Coach, was the Pies won every quarter. They played 4 quarters of fantastic footy. Obviously the highlight, Chris Tarrant, 7 goals for the game. Young Josh Fraser too, I think, came of age today, kicking 4 goals, but certainly a real team effort today by the Magpies. And we see Jeff White there, the 100th game he played for the Demons, and he didn't let them down. But really, they've got some soul searching to do over the next fortnight before they play Adelaide at Optus Oval. But full credit to the Magpies, they played a terrific game.
Yeah, they certainly did. Well, Josh Fraser was outstanding, and their captain again, Nathan Buckley, always made a major contribution, and here he is.
Thanks, Anthony. Well, Nathan, that's a great way to finish off a game like that.
Yeah, well, we played 4 fairly consistent quarters, which was a good sign, and Melbourne are a good side. They've played very well this year, so we just need to keep our momentum, and today was a part of that.
And what's the feeling like among the players and at the club at the moment? It must be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it is good, and the morale's going along well, but it's important not to take your foot off the pedal, and you need to make sure you focus on the things that need to be focused on, and I think we're keeping our head in the right places, and it's going okay at the moment.
Thanks, Nathan. Anthony.
Thanks, Christy. I think it's fair to say that the Magpies are focused at the moment. 19-12, 126 to 10-15, 75. A great win by the Pies.
Hi, this week's guest on Oz Kicking Around is Anthony McDonald from the Demons. So join me, Daniel Harford, and me, Bruiser, for Oz Kicking Around on Fox Footy Channel.
Oz Kicking Around, 5 o'clock today. Do you want to be entertained on Sunday nights? Every week, tune into TV1 for a star-studded night of quality viewing, because we've got some of the best shows ever to hit your screen.
Let me see that.
At 7:30, be spellbound by Charmed.
Please be careful. Who are you people?
Prue Hollowell is a witch. Trust me. At 8:35, freak out to Dawson's Creek.
Did you just say freak me out?
I gotta admit I didn't see that one coming. Sounds like a great plan.
That's true.
At 9:30, hit the hard stuff with Jag.
Who's behind this? I don't think I like where you're going with this. A hell of a way to get his attention.
Then at 10:30, get down and funky with groovy movies.
I'd hope for something with decent features.
So for entertainment,
Take a number and get in line.
and get on to Sunday nights, only on TV1 Channel 1.
The Dockers had a dark day with the Doggies at Optus, while Malthouse's Magpies cemented their place in the 8.
Drop punt for goal! He's kicked it!
But Sunday, Fremantle are back on home turf against Collingwood. The Big Birds are hoping to fly in the West, but they've got Subiaco Oval and a fiery Trent Crow to beat.
Look out, front end loader coming through.
It's season 2002, part 2, as the Dockers and the Magpies fight it out on Fox Footy Channel.
What a hard stopper.
Those grumpy old men of football are next on Fox Footy Channel. Join Kevin, Bob and the lovely Melissa as they celebrate footy's yesteryear.
So there's the Collingwood Rooms, victorious Collingwood Rooms after their win today. A great performance here against Melbourne, who challenged them at various stages. The Demons had their chances, but they couldn't capitalise, and then Collingwood running away. Chris Tarrant, what a game. 7 goals up 40, 5 in the first half. Josh Fraser, perhaps his best ever game for Collingwood. A great spread of goal kickers, 19-12, 126 to Melbourne, 10-15, 75. Let's get down to Christy Malthouse, who's in the Collingwood Rooms.
Thanks, Anthony. Well, you must have been pleased, obviously, with the win, but just the consistent football.
Yeah, it's a bit different looking from the bench in there. I said to one of the players as it was coming off, did he feel he had the game, at what stage did he feel he had the game? And it was interesting, his comment, I won't say what it was, but sitting on the boundary line, you see it differently, and I guess you're never safe. I threw it around a bit in the last quarter, but I thought that even halfway through the last quarter, we still need to be fairly vigilant. That was good. It was a good win.
So why did you sit on the bench for the game?
Well, there's a number of reasons. I haven't sat down there, I don't think, for a number of years for a start off, if I can't remember, practice matches, but I just think it just gives you a different feel. It's clearly not good enough to actually view the game, so I was in constant liaison with the assistant coaches up in the box, but the bonus to it to me was to get a feel for how the young players go, how the young players sit on the bench and what their thoughts are, and just talk to them about their roles. And there's a whole host of things, and I think at the end of the day I've come out of it a bit wiser.
Good, well done.